Chapter 213. What? At this moment, the old man thought he didn't hear clearly, so he asked again in doubt. I said, I've taken a liking to your financial group. I want to use it for a few years. After a few years, if you still want it, I'll return it to you unconditionally. What do you think? The young man patiently stated the purpose of his visit again, after he heard the words "watch out." Ha 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 ha! A hearty laugh came from the old man's mouth. His voice was deep and didn't sound like the symptoms of old age at all. Young man, although I don't know how you came here, don't you think it's a little funny that you want all the family assets that I've worked hard for generations? The old man smiled and held the pen in his hand, as if he was working. However, at this moment, when the old man wasn't paying attention, the young man suddenly pointed his middle finger at the old man. A trace of weak spiritual energy directly pointed at the old man. At the next moment, the hand that was holding the pen stopped in the air and was no longer under the old man's control. No, no, no. Sir, I'm not here to discuss with you. I'm only here to inform you. In fact, it doesn't matter whether you agree or not. I have plenty of ways to make you agree. Seeing the old man's expression, the young man knew that it was his doing. You? How did you do it? Why can't my hand move? At this moment, he looked at the young man who suddenly appeared in front of him with a trembling voice. Oh, right, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Dong Xiaonan and I'm from China. As for my purpose, I think I've already told you. I'm here for your financial group. Not only yours but also other financial group. In the future, they will all merge with this financial group. With that, the young man walked step by step to the old man's side and sat on the table. He grabbed the old man's neck with one hand and said in a cold tone, Killing you is simply too easy. Besides, I won't kill you. What I want is the strength of your financial group. But don't worry, I won't use it for nothing. I'll let you taste the feeling of a long life, just like me. The current me can live for a time that you can't even imagine. As he spoke, the young man didn't waste any more words. He directly pried open the old man's mouth and stuffed a mind control pill that Lin Ray had given him into his mouth. The pill melted in his mouth and was immediately digested by the old man. The effect of this mind control pill wasn't just to control cultivators and humans. It could also increase the lifespan of ordinary people. After delivering the neck, the man returned to the sofa not far away. The only thing he had to do now was to wait for the drug to take effect. Then, everything would be fine. Time passed quickly. 5 minutes later, the man who was originally sitting on the chair stood up. He walked to the front of the young man, knelt on the ground, and kowtowed to him. Subordinate John Latu greets master. The young man had known about this for a long time, so he wasn't surprised at all when he saw the old man named John kneeling in front of him. Yes, stand up, but don't call me master in the future. I'm just doing things for others. The real master is someone else. In the future, when there is no one else, call me elder. When there is someone else, just call me Mr. Male. After explaining the rules to John, he returned to his previous seriousness. I have told you about the matter this time. During this period of time, you should hurry up and prepare to transfer the company's headquarters to Beijing, Huaxia. After that, I will go back to find you. However, the name of the company will be changed in the future. It will be called Jiutian Trading Company. Yes, subordinate will obey. John, who was now on the top, knelt on the ground and responded after hearing the young man's words. Well, you can go and give the order. I won't be coming for this period of time. See you in Beijing, Huaxia. After saying that, the young man cast a small invisibility spell on himself just like before and left the current Jiutian Trading Company. After that, the young man went to several consortiums. In the end, he controlled several consortiums in this way. Then, he changed the names of their companies to Jiutian Trading Company. On the street, the young man was now under a street lamp. He had lost his breath. His whole body was relaxed as he thought about today's result. For a moment, he laughed in his heart. Hee, I believe that after these consortiums left, Brother Lei's plan should be able to be implemented. At this moment, Lin Ray didn't know what the young man was thinking. Of course, if he knew, he would definitely be very happy. However, in these few days, something happened that Lin Ray and the young man didn't know. When Lin Ray and Long Ro were fighting, it caused a 1,000-meter whirlpool to appear in the Pacific Ocean. After being detected by the satellite, all the countries sent their most elite special departments to the place where the whirlpool appeared. Within a few days, several islands not far from the whirlpool were already filled with people. Whether it was a special department or not, the moment this news spread, no matter if it was a special department or not. In Huaxia, no matter if it was a top sect or a low-level sect, they all came here to see the treasure they imagined. At this moment, on an island, a kind old man came to the side of another old man and greeted him. Hey, old man, I didn't expect you to come here too. At this moment, as soon as they came up, they started to argue with each other. They looked like they couldn't believe it. F***ck, even your old Long family is here. How can I be inferior to others? Besides, I didn't come. Who are you competing with? Ha ha ha. After the two of them finished talking, they looked at each other and then began to laugh heartily. It was as if they were brothers who hadn't seen each other for a long time. They directly hugged each other. Murong Chen, don't confuse me here. Don't think that I don't know your purpose of coming here. It is said that there is hope here. Everyone says that there is a 1,000-meter whirlpool. But why do I feel that I can feel a sense of power here? At this moment, while the two of them were talking, the group of juniors next to them heard it. Sigh. It can't be helped. Whether it is a treasure or not, this is the territory of Huaxia after all. If there is something that they don't want to give up, they won't be able to do anything to us. But if there really is a treasure, we can't let those foreign races have it. At this moment, the old man called Long family's old master looked at the few non-Chinese people with a determined expression and said with a domineering look in his eyes, Ha ha ha! Long Batian, I didn't expect that after not seeing you for a few years, you're still the same old man. Don't worry. The country has attached great importance to this matter. Besides, all the old men in Huaxia are here. Are you still worried about those powerful foreign races? After hearing Long Batian's words, although Murong Chen said so, he looked around vigilantly, as if saying that if they rushed over, he would kill them all in Huaxia. Of course, the foreign races standing on the other islands had the same thought. Their thoughts were almost the same. No matter what treasure was in the sea, they must get it at all costs. However, what they didn't know was that at this moment, Linley, whom they regarded as a treasure, had still arrived at the deepest part of the sea. Here, Linley's eyebrows were frozen by the coldness of the depths, his eyelashes were covered in ice, and his mouth was ghastly pale. Lin Ray was completely unaware of all the movements on the shore. At this moment, Lin Ray didn't want to know. His only thought was to leave this place as soon as possible. Damn it, what the hell is going on? We're already at the bottom. Why haven't we seen that thing yet? At this moment, Lin Ray was crazy from the cold. The martial emperor godly spear in his hand began to move crazily at the bottom of the sea. Originally, there were more undercurrents at the bottom of the sea than in the middle of the sea, and there were more dangers. Under Lin Ray's action, the undercurrents turned into waterspouts and began to wreak havoc at the bottom of the sea. As for the thousands of disciples of the Xuanzong sect, they began to tame them quickly not long after Lin Ray asked Yen Wei to inform them. The next day, everyone followed Lin Ray with a flood dragon. Although the flood dragons varied in size, it was still a spectacular scene. As for the other flood dragons, Lin Ray agreed to throw them into the cloud tower and lock them up in a separate floor. When the waterspouts appeared, everything around the bottom of the sea was sucked in. Lin Rei and the thousands of disciples of the Xuanzong sect stood still in the same place. However, some of them looked calm, while others looked a little strained. As for the other cultivators, they were protected by the spiritual energy of the Mahayana realm cultivators to prevent them from being invaded by the chill at the bottom of the sea. Alright, everyone stay where you are and don't move. The leaders of the other tribes go and look around to see if there are any mysterious experts or if there are any strange places. After giving the order to his subordinates, Lin Rei instantly released his divine sense and then flew towards the north. During the journey, no matter if it was a small fish or a small shrimp, they all escaped the detection of Lin Rei's divine sense. It was the same for the people sent out by Lin Rei. After flying for a long time, Lin Rei still didn't hear back from his subordinate. At this moment, Lin Rei knew that he didn't find the answer he wanted. With a disappointed expression, he stopped flying and landed on the bottom of the sea. Alas! What on earth is so mysterious that it can escape my divine sense? At this moment, Lin Rei stood still and belittled himself. Thump, thump, thump. When he stopped speaking or moving, Linley's 5 senses were stretched to their limit. Suddenly, a faint thumping sound like the beating of a heart reverberated in Linley's ears. Chapter 214. This heart-like sound attracted all of Linley's attention. How could such a sound appear for no reason at such a deep seabed? There must be something wrong. He closed his eyes and released his 5 senses to the extreme. Then, he followed the sound and walked in the direction of the sound. Thump, 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 thump. Lin Rei, who had his eyes closed, did not know which direction he was heading in. The only thing he could perceive was that the heartbeat sound was getting louder and louder. Lin Rei performed the dragon-subduing step and followed the sound. He did not know how long he had walked or how many sentences he had spoken, but the sound stopped in his ears. His curiosity seemed to be close at hand. Right now, the sound wasn't as weak as it had been before. The thumping sound was strong and powerful, and even the slightest sound was loud and clear. Linley no longer needed to use his 5 senses. He could hear it just by using his ears. Haha, let me see who you are. You can command all the creatures at the bottom of the sea and prevent them from betraying you. At this moment, Lin Rei's interest was greatly piqued. He had to see the source of the sound to see if it was the thing that had asked him to come. Following the sound, Lin Rei walked on foot, but his speed was also very fast. Each step covered several feet. Even so, Lin Rei had an illusion. It had been an hour since he could hear the sound with his ears. After such a long time, Lin Rei still had not reached the source. This made Lin Rei feel like he was hallucinating. Looking at the pitch-black surroundings, where there were no signs of living creatures, Lin Rei could not help but be vigilant. The martial Emperor Godly's spear appeared in his hand in an instant. The spiritual power in his body began to circulate, ready to fight at any time. Little dragon, come out quickly. Let me see what is making me feel so pressured. At this time, Lin Rei thought of the little dragon in the system. Without hesitation, he shouted to the little dragon. Damn it, Lin Rei, how many times have I told you not to disturb me if there's nothing important? Although I'm not under the control of the system, I can't interfere with your cultivation too much. You're making it very difficult for me. Whoosh! Not long after Lin Rei shouted, the little dragon instantly transformed into the system and appeared in front of Lin Rei, glaring at Lin Rei in dissatisfaction. Where is this? The little dragon, who suddenly felt that something was amiss, turned his head and scanned the surrounding environment. He then turned back and asked Lin Rei in confusion. At this time, tens of thousands of meters under the sea, there is a cold and dark place. This is an underwater world full of killing and blood. Seeing the little dragon's appearance, Lin Rei didn't feel awkward at all. After all, this wasn't the first time. Then, he told the little dragon where they were now. What? Tens of thousands of meters under the sea? How did you come back here and release so many Xuanzong sect disciples? At this time, the little dragon asked in confusion after scanning the surrounding environment with his spiritual sense in amazement. Spiritual sense was something that was used by the power of the soul. Although the little dragon wasn't a soul, the little dragon was a weapon spirit. Therefore, there was no problem with this. Sigh. I let them out to help me find the thing that made me feel danger. However, it doesn't seem that ideal. No one has reported to me yet. As he spoke, Lin Rei's gaze shifted from the little dragon to the surroundings, and then he became vigilant. What, a threat to you? Impossible. How could it be here? Could you be mistaken? At this moment, the little dragon didn't want to believe Lin Rei's words no matter what. If he said that it was in the upper realm, then it was possible. However, if he said that it was here, even if he was beaten to death, he wouldn't believe it. Yes, you may not know, but I really overestimated myself before. Do you know, just now I've subdued tens of thousands of flood dragons, and most of them have considerable cultivation strength. Therefore, I'm starting to be interested in this world. As he spoke, Lin Rei's face revealed a bloodthirsty expression. His tongue licked his lips involuntarily. This action added a hint of bloodthirst to the current Lin Rei. Oh! Hearing Lin Rei's words and all his actions at this time, the little dragon analyzed that this matter was most likely true. If that's the case, then you can have fun here. However, this has nothing to do with me. Don't tell me you called me out just to say this. If you have something to say it quickly. I still want to sleep. At this moment, after learning about this matter, the little dragon returned to its idle appearance and said to Lin Rei with a displeased expression. All right, I'll say it as soon as possible. Once I've finished speaking and thought of a way, you can go back to sleep. After speaking, Lin Rei told the little dragon about the sound and strange sound just now. After that, he fell silent and stared at the equally silent little dragon. TSK, this matter is not easy to handle. According to what you said, this might be a creature from the bottom of the sea, or some treasure that's about to appear in the world. So, let's leave it at that. Call me when you have further investigation. Whoosh. After speaking, the little dragon disappeared on the spot and returned to the system. Damn it, what the hell are you talking about? I already know what you said. Do I need you to tell me? At this moment, Lin Rei was very regretful. He regretted calling the little dragon out and being scolded by him. In the end, there was no answer. Damn it, I knew you were unreliable. In the end, Lin Rei had no choice but to go on his way. He held the martial emperor godly spear in one hand and scanned the surroundings vigilantly. Dong dong, dong dong, dong dong. The sound was deafening at this moment. Lin Rei was very puzzled. What exactly was it that could make such a loud sound? After speaking to the little dragon, Lin Rei, who was on his way again, arrived at a place similar to the underwater mountains. There were mountains everywhere, but what puzzled him was that the deafening sound came from the mountains. What? Are you kidding me? What the hell do you mean? Don't tell me you want me to tear down the main mountain and find that thing. At this moment, Linley was grumbling as he looked up into the sky. His roar, which was laced with the power of his cultivation base, shook the heavens. Although they were at the bottom of the seawater also began to churn because of Linley's voice. Humph, that depends on whether you have the strength to do so. The sudden sound startled Linley. After all, anyone would be startled if a sound suddenly appeared in such a deep place at the bottom of the sea. Although Lin Rei was surprised by the sudden voice, he was still calm on the surface. There was no other expression on his face. He was as calm as ever. Who is it? Come out. The martial Emperor Divine Spear was held horizontally in front of his chest. All the cultivation, physical strength, and the enhancement of the fairy weapon were released. At this moment, Lin Rei was very luxurious and noble. The majesty of an expert was fully displayed at this moment. He swept the area with his gaze, but to Linley's disappointment, no matter how hard he looked, he couldn't find the body of the person who had spoken, or anything at all. "Oh, little guy, you're very good. You came here alone and subdued a group of little flood dragons that I subdued. Good, I'm very happy." Rumble, rumble. An enormous sound rang out. The earth trembled and the sea roiled. With Linley at the center, everything around him had changed. It had changed so thoroughly that it had become nothing more than rubble. But the only thing that did not change was the mountain that he saw when he came here. It stood tall and straight in front of Lin Ray. "Humph, playing tricks. I don't want to hear anything else. I just want to know who you are and why you let them lead me here." At this moment, Lin Ray had too many questions, but he had to know if the other party wanted to answer them or not. Lin Ray just asked the most important question. At the same time that Xiao Chen asked, he released his 5 senses to their limit. He wanted to see who was playing tricks on him. Everything within a radius of 10,000 li appeared in his 5 senses, not missing a single thing. "Little brat, retract your 5 senses. You don't have to spend so much effort to find me. I'm right in front of you, aren't I?" After that, the towering mountain in front of him changed. Halfway up the mountain, 3 holes appeared. In an instant, all the holes appeared. Hearing this, Linley turned to look up ahead. When he saw what was happening, he was speechless. "Okay, since you're here, I'll cut to the chase. Why did you call me? What's the matter?" He went straight to the point and did not beat around the bush. "Well, it's very simple. First, I feel that you're very interesting. Second, I have a premonition that you can get me out, so I sent those disappointing things to invite you. In the end, they were not invited and were instead subdued by you." In one sentence, Lin Ray completely understood. It turned out that all these things were done to get him out. This reason made Lin Ray feel very helpless. "Little dragon, come out. I found him. Take a look at him and see what he is." At this moment, Lin Ray was silent, but he did not want to remain silent on the surface. Instead, he asked the little dragon silently in his heart. After a long time, Lin Ray, who originally thought that the little dragon did not pay attention to him, was about to speak when he heard the little dragon's exclamation. "Damn, no way. For such a creature to appear here, it's really invincible." The sudden words directly made Lin Ray furious. The words that came out of nowhere made Lin Ray very unhappy. "Don't speak in riddles with me. Hurry up and tell me, what is this thing?" Chapter 215. At this moment, Lin Ray was anxious in his heart. He really wanted to know what the real body of the stone in front of him was, but the little dragon was unhurriedly teasing his appetite, and even showed an infuriating look. Okay, don't be angry. I'll just tell you. Look at how anxious you are." Although he said so, his actual actions were still as slow as before, with a little impulse to speak out because of Lin Ray's anxiousness. "Actually, it's normal that you don't know. The real body of the person talking to you is not a stone or a mountain rock. His real body has a great origin." "Big brother, can I call you big brother? Hurry up and say it. Do you know how long you've been talking here?" Listening to the little dragon's words, Lin Ray was anxious for him. If the little dragon was not a physical body, he believed that Lin Ray would be very willing to spank him. "Humph." He snorted coldly, as if he was very dissatisfied with the attitude of Lin Ray's acquaintance, but in the end, he still said it. "His real body is a Pai Xiu, and looking at the extent of his soul power, it should be a fierce beast from ancient times. It's just that I'm puzzled as to how it was trapped in the stone. It's really strange." Looking at the Pai Xiu trapped in the stone in front of him, the little dragon sighed, with a regretful expression on his face. "What? You're saying that the speaker is a Pai Xiu that survived from ancient times? How is that possible?" At this moment, Lin Ray's eyes were as big as Niu Ling's, and his mouth was opened so wide that an egg could be stuffed into it. His eyes were filled with disbelief. Why not? Isn't it just ancient times? In the future, when we reach the immortal world, not only ancient times, but all kinds of strong people will appear in front of us. Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, how could the little dragon let go of this opportunity to despise Lin Rei? What's so great about it? Isn't it just living longer than me? Just you wait. In the future, my accomplishments will have already reached the pinnacle of the Tao, surpassing everything that can be surpassed. A powerful aura emanated from Lin Rei's body. At this moment, Lin Rei's heart towards cultivation became even more resolute. All right, now that we know what he is, there's no need to fear him. As he spoke, Lin Rei's tense facial muscles relaxed. Although he appeared to be relaxed, his mental state was much more tense than before. The little dragon's voice disappeared, and Lin Rei returned to the present world. With a smile on his face, he asked the mountain in front of him, "Okay, you can do it. However, I am very curious as to who sealed you here, the dignified ancient vicious beast Pai Xiu." Boom! The moment Lin Rei finished speaking, a burst of energy suddenly appeared in the surroundings, sealing the area, including Lin Rei. Hee hee boy, it seems that I have underestimated you. I didn't expect that in such a small place, I would actually be able to see your existence. This is strange. After Lin Rei heard the loud noise, he turned his head and looked at the layer of energy barrier. He didn't panic, but instead calmly looked at the stone and listened to his word. Boy, I advise you not to waste your energy. This layer of energy barrier was sealed by my own soul force. Moreover, you have never seen this kind of sealing technique before, so obediently listen to my conditions. Listening to the words of the Pai Xiu, Lin Rei was not far away, watching all of this with a smile on his face. I know that with your current strength, it is still very difficult for you to get me out. However, I believe that with your potential, it won't be long before you can get me out. In return, I can pass on the inheritance of the sealing technique. When you get me out, I will not hide anything. What do you think? Finally, after the Pai Xiu finished talking about the conditions, Lin Rei let out a sigh. With a smile still on his face, he asked, "Okay, but why should I save you? Because of your mouth? Or is it your identity?" At this moment, Lin Rei's face revealed a funny expression. He continued to speak to the Pai Xiu. "I think you are thinking too much. Pai Xiu. Hee, you are too funny. So what if you are a Pai Xiu? I have a true dragon, so why should I be afraid of a Pai Xiu like you?" As he spoke, Linli mentally connected with the little golden dragon, Long Ao, who had been training this entire time within the Cloud Pagoda and had an agreement with Linli. Ello! Ello! A burst of dragon roar resounded. The moment Lin Rei finished speaking, a golden dragon appeared above Lin Rei's head. The 100-zhang long body of the true dragon was intimidating and domineering. "Brother Lei, why are you looking for me? Why do you have to call me out? I am in the middle of a breakthrough." At this moment, Long Ao came out and spoke in a northeastern dialect. Although Lin Rei could not see his expression, Lin Rei could hear that he was very unhappy. How is this possible? At this moment, the Pai Xiu who was sealed in the mountain was stunned by Long Ao's words. He could not help but speak with a surprised tone. "Well, Long Ao, you go back first. I called you out just to use your body to intimidate an ignorant and arrogant ferocious beast." Linli didn't respond to Pai Xiu's words at all. Instead, he turned around and said something to Long Ao, the little golden dragon. Then, he wrapped Long Ao with his divine sense and put him into the Cloud Pagoda. At this moment, the area where Lin Rei was located was calm, but the atmosphere was a bit strange. "Well, Pixiu, tell me now, how did you get trapped here?" At this moment, Lin Rei said to the Pai Xiu in the stone very proudly. At this moment, his tone became like the little dragon's. "In ancient times, our clan's sealing technique was the best, so it was coveted by the 100 clans. Therefore, the 100 clans shamelessly besieged my Pishio clan. In the end, we were outnumbered and our clansmen were massacred. As for me, I escaped with heavy injuries, but in the end, I still couldn't escape. I don't know who sealed me here. Hearing Lin Rei's words, the Pishio was very reluctant to speak. However, due to Lin Rei's freedom and all the strong people around him, in the end, even if the Pishio did not want to compromise, it had no choice. So that's how it is. After listening to the Pishio's experience, he sneered in his heart. Lin Rei would not easily believe him based on his word. Of course, unless that person was a fool. Obviously, Lin Rei did not belong to that kind of person. Alright, I can save you, but not now. Although I don't know who sealed you here, this kind of seal is too difficult for me to break with my current strength. However, soon I will release your freedom. Of course, there are conditions for releasing you. When the Pishio talked about his experience, Lin Rei's little abacus in his heart had already begun to fluctuate. It was for this moment. What conditions, as long as they are not particularly excessive, I will agree to them. At this moment, the Pishio's language was full of helplessness, and he said the words that went against his heart. It's very simple. My condition is that the moment I release you, you must pledge allegiance to me for 1,000 years. Of course, after releasing you, I will provide you with medicinal pills and anything that can restore your cultivation and soul power. In one sentence, Lin Rei's words were like a sharp knife directly inserted into the Pishio's heart. When an ancient beast heard that he wanted to pledge allegiance to others, it was inevitable that there would be some resistance. Lin Rei could understand this point. Okay. Since you don't want to, then forget it. Anyway, I don't lack people like you around me. Lin Rei, who was in the United States for a few minutes, pretended to leave. He turned around and pretended to walk outside. Wait, I say, you can't be so shameless. Give me some time to think about it. Aren't you forcing me like this? The Pishio, who was originally in a dilemma, was anxious after seeing Lin Rei's actions. He quickly stopped Lin Rei and complained to Lin Rei. Oh yes, you can understand it this way. I went down to the bottom of the sea for no reason and wasted a lot of time. Have you calculated how much time I wasted? So, now, immediately, tell me your choice. If I'm satisfied, I'll choose to cultivate faster. However, you might be able to release your cultivation base. Oh right. Similarly, when someone said it, it was indeed effective. As soon as Lin Rei finished speaking, the Pishio followed Lin Rei's voice and spoke. I pledge allegiance. As long as you release me, slowly from that day, I will be at your disposal for 1,000 years. When he said this, Lin Rei's heart was already blooming with joy, but his face had been trained by Lin Rei to the point of perfection. Although he was happy in his heart, he did not show it on his face at all. Well, then swear to Hongmeng. In this way I can really trust you. There was a sentence that directly angered the Pishio. F***ck, are you done? I have already said that I pledge allegiance to you. You are doing this to show that you don't believe me. Yes, I just don't believe you, so swear. Of course, unless you want to spend the rest of your life here. I believe that in this state, you may be able to live for 1,000 years or 10,000 years, but from then on, you will disappear from this world forever. As for the revenge of your clan, I think it will disappear with your death. At this time, Lin Rei did not speak to the Pishio, but after saying a few words, he walked outside. I swear by the ancestors of the Pishio, what's your name? I am Lin Rei. Suddenly, Lin Rei, who was walking not far away, heard the question of the Pishio. He stopped and said his name with a smile. I swear by the ancestors of the Pishio, from the moment Lin Rei takes me out, I will pledge allegiance to him. From then on, I will be at his disposal for 1,000 years. If there is a violation, I will be tortured by the Hongmeng divine thunder and will never be able to transcend. Humph, is this okay? At the moment when he finished swearing, the Pai Xiu gritted his teeth and said to Lin Rei. His tone was full of complaints. Chapter 216. Ha ha! Hearing the resentment in the Pai Xiu's words, Lin Rei was not stupid. He frowned and smiled without saying anything. He stayed like this for a few minutes. Okay, kid, you can go out. You have to practice quickly in the future. I'm still waiting for you to release me. After a long silence, when the atmosphere was slightly awkward, the Pai Xiu couldn't help but directly tell Lin Rei. Oh, well, I will go back and practice hard. Besides, not for you, but for myself, for the peak of the Tao, I will work hard to practice until I reach the top. Right now, Linley was speaking very seriously. Even if some of what he had said earlier was false, these words were absolutely true. The peak of the Tao had already become his goal, his dream, and something he would strive for in the future. Ha ha ha! Deafening laughter. When Lin Rei finished speaking, the Pai Xiu couldn't help but laugh. Ha ha, kid, you're not joking, right? The peak of the Tao, do you think you're stronger than that old man Hong Jun, or more courageous than Pangu? They didn't dare to set foot on the peak of the Tao, just you. Humph. At this time, when listening to the Pai Xiu's words, Lin Rei's face was obviously unhappy. Lin Rei could hear that the Pai Xiu was really disdainful of his goal. It could even be said that the Pai Xiu didn't believe that Lin Rei could do it. Pai Xiu, in this world, no one is better than anyone else. It only depends on whether you want to do it or not. They can't do it, but it doesn't mean that I can't. Do you know what the world is like now? The next moment, all the unhappy aura was expressed by Lin Rei in words. His tone was overbearing, and no one could compare. How can I? You don't know anything, so don't preach to me here. Since you don't believe me, how about we make another bet? Just after the Pai Xiu heard Lin Rei's verbal attack, it wanted to refute, but it was refuted by Lin Rei's words. Bet? Okay. Since you want to bet, then tell me what you want to bet and what you want to use as the chips. Hearing this, Pai Xiu became interested. It was hard to say that it was gambling. He had nothing now. Was he afraid of this meaningless gamble? His casual tone caused a hint of a smile to appear on Linley's face. All right, then let's make a bet. In the next 300 years, I can reach a level that you can't imagine. Of course, you can choose not to bet, but what about the stakes? It is the freedom to set you free forever. What do you think of this bet? Really? A scream came out of the Pai Xiu's mouth. Obviously, after hearing Lin Rei's bet, the Pai Xiu could not hold back the throbbing in its heart. That's right. Just as you've heard, as long as I haven't reached that level, I'll nullify all the previous agreements and release you. However, at that time, the originally throbbing Pai Xiu instantly calmed down, but Lin Rei could still hear the faint breathing sound. But if I complete it, you will unconditionally join my sect and become my subordinate disciple. You tell me, do you want to bet or not? All the stakes were said, and all the previous emotions of the Pai Xiu were put away, and it was silent. The world passed quietly in the silence of the two people. However, the emotions of the two people were completely different. Lin Rei's mood was very calm, but the Pai Xiu's heart was very tangled. He wanted to agree, but he was afraid that Lin Rei could break through. Just as Lin Rei said, in this world, he had been gradually eliminated, so he was not sure whether this matter was possible. The area where Lin Rei was located was quiet before, but the loss above 10,000 meters had been heated up. The special departments of various countries, after waiting for a long time, still did not see the appearance of the treasure. In the end, they decided to send people to the sea to investigate. Plop, plop, plop sounds came from the sea. In an instant, 2/3 of the people on the shore had all gone into the sea. As soon as they entered the sea, Everyone swam crazily to the bottom of the sea like wild horses out of control. However, 1/3 of the people left on the shore were not so obedient. At this moment, all the people on the shore were astute and experienced. Foreign thieves, hurry up and leave. It is impossible to find anything in front of us Huaxia cultivators. No matter how hard you work, it will be in vain. At this moment, on the cliff of an isolated island, Murong Chen roared at the foreign masters on another island. His tone was deep, and there was some spiritual power in it. Ha ha ha! Murong Chen, let's not talk about other things. Let's look at the final result. Anyway, there is still a long time. If you want to fight, how can it be done in one day? There will be plenty of time in the future. At this moment, on another island, a foreign man with blue eyes, yellow hair, and very white skin retorted directly after hearing Murong Chen's words. However, this sentence made Murong Chen feel as if he had hit a balloon. Ha ha! Murong Chen, I didn't expect you to have such a day. After the two of them finished talking, Long Batian, who had been standing beside Murong Chen, suddenly mocked Murong Chen. Humph, old man, don't make a fool of yourself here. Now is not the time to fool around. All the countries already know about this matter, so the only thing we can do now is to protect everything here, whether it is a treasure or not. Even if we have to risk our lives, we must keep it in Huaxia. This sentence had already reflected Murong Chen's heart. At this moment, Murong Chen's heart had already been prepared to die when he came here. Alas! I know. Even if you don't say it, I know. I'm just afraid that you'll feel awkward, so I'm doing this. After saying that, the two of them looked at each other and chose to remain silent. Everyone quieted down and stared at the surface of the sea, not daring to blink for even a moment. It was as if they were afraid that something would slip away if they blinked. The treasure they were talking about was now negotiating with the Pishio at the bottom of the sea. It had reached the final critical moment. At this moment, the bottom of the sea was pitch black. Except for the faint light on Lin Rei's body, there was no light at all. Finally, at this moment, the silent atmosphere was broken by the Pishio trapped in the mountain. Okay. You're good boy. I agree to this bet. As long as you can satisfy me, I will unconditionally become your subordinate. Finally, at noon, at this moment, Lin Rei's heart finally returned to its previous state. Haha, good, I'm very satisfied with this answer. Since the matter has been settled, then I will leave. When I come back again, it will be the day you break out of the stone. After saying this, Lin Rei turned and walked in the direction he came from. He didn't say a word and left without any hesitation. Chapter 217. Boy, I hope you won't let me wait too long. With my current body, not to mention 10,000 years, even 1,000 years would be difficult. Alas. At the last moment, I made a crazy decision. Is it because I want to go out too much? After Lin Rei left, not long after, Pai Xiu sighed deeply and said to himself in a tone full of self-deprecation, Maybe he can really get me out. Just by the fact that he has the dragon aristocracy, it can be judged. Pai Xiu's voice disappeared. After finishing his words, he chose to sleep and wait for Lin Rei's return. Because only in this way could he spend more time, and only in this way could the wear and tear of his soul be slower. Tens of thousands of meters under the sea returned to calm and returned to the same dark, gloomy, and dangerous appearance. And Lin Rei, who had left, went back the way he came, but he was at the bottom of the sea. How could he have a real direction? So, after walking for a while, Lin Rei swam upward. Releasing all of his divine sense, all of the places within 100 miles appeared in Lin Rei's mind. Only in this way Lin Rei could find them. Lin Rei's speed was very fast, and it didn't take long for him to rise 1,000 meters. At this time, at noon, a familiar figure appeared in his divine sense. Bing, after hearing my voice, tell them that they don't need to look for me, all of them go ashore. In the shortest time possible, I hope you can return to the shore, because there are still many things waiting for you to do." Looking at Bing's figure, Lin Rei's eyes were full of shame, but in order to leave this place quickly, Lin Rei did not immediately look for her, but told the others. "And, young master?" Lin Rei's voice was something that Bing would never forget in her life, but in the deep sea, there were countless dangerous existences, so Bing had to be careful. Hearing Lin Rei's voice, Bing asked carefully, "Are you the young master?" And, "According to what I said just now, inform all the disciples, and remember, during this process, ensure your own safety." Hearing Bing's sound transmission, Lin Rei smiled helplessly, and then repeated his previous words. "Yes, your subordinate obeys." At this moment, Bing's face was full of happiness because he hadn't heard Lin Rei say that for a long time. "Alright, you go first. I'll go up first. Remember to get them ashore as soon as possible." Whoosh! After he finished speaking, Lin Rei didn't stay any longer. He retracted his spiritual sense and released his cultivation to swim towards the shore. His journey was unimpeded. Since he was at the mid-transcending tribulation stage, it was very difficult for anyone to threaten him in the sea. Even if there were some cultivators, after sensing Lin Rei's aura, they would immediately disappear. As for Bing, following Lin Rei's instructions, he quickly went to inform Dian Wei, who was not too far away from him. Then, he informed the leaders of the various tribes one by one, who then informed their subordinate. Soon, thousands of people all swam towards the sea at Lin Rei's command. The scene was very spectacular. There were thousands of people, and each of them had a faint glow on their bodies. In the sea, although it was only the light of a grain of rice, it was the warmest color. Lin Rei, who took the lead, had already floated up 10,000 meters. At this moment, Lin Rei showed a rare smile. "Lin Rei, since you have accepted the Pixiu's bet, the system will also issue a task. I don't know if you will accept it or not." Suddenly, the little dragon's voice came into his ears. For a moment, the smile on his face disappeared. "Damn it, don't tell me that I will be killed by the system if I don't accept it." When he heard the little dragon's next sentence, Lin Rei really wanted to smash his own mouth. "Heh, Lin Rei, I didn't expect that you would become so smart after being with me for so long. Yes, you are right. If you don't accept it, the system has the right to kill you directly." What he said came true. Everything he did not want appeared at this moment. Sigh. When will I be able to choose my own task without being killed by the system? Lin Rei, who was full of helplessness, finally agreed to the little dragon's task. He had no choice but to accept it. Is this the right way? A cute laugh was heard. However, in Lin Rei's ears, this was indeed very shameless. "Alright, since you have agreed, you should complete it well. If you do your best, the reward for the task will be even better." Ding dong, main task. In 500 years, the host must upgrade from his current level to the Immortal Emperor realm. If he cannot complete it, the system can only kill him automatically. However, if the host completes it early, the system will give the host an additional reward. Ding dong, main task reward. Alchemy Realm upgrade by 1 level, Martial Emperor Godly Spear upgrade by 1 level, Tyrant Body Technique, Supreme Level Cultivation Technique, Heaven and Earth Taoist Robe, Purple Cloud Pill. Ding dong, secondary task. When the host breaks through to the Immortal Emperor realm, he must take out the Pixiu and use it for himself. Of course, if the host cannot complete it on time, the system does not need to say more about the consequences. Ding dong, secondary task reward. 10,000 years stalactite milk, Wind Dragon Crown, top Immortal Chi magic treasure. The system's voice disappeared. Suddenly, Lin Rei's heart was filled with joy and hatred. He was happy that he could get so many good things, but he hated that it would take 500 years. It was not 5,000 years. If he wanted to cultivate to the Immortal Emperor realm, he would have to go through all the forbidden areas and secret realms as soon as he arrived in the Immortal realm. Only then would he be able to cultivate to the level that the system wanted. At this moment, Lin Rei wanted to die. He originally wanted to stay here for a little longer, but time was running out and he could not stay any longer. Sigh. Forget it. Anyway, after cultivating, there is still a long time. After I save my mother, I will leave this place. Having made up his mind, Linley increased his power and swam towards the surface of the sea. However, right at this moment, a ripple suddenly appeared in front of him. Without hesitating at all, Linley immediately released his divine sense, sending it out in a radius of 100 kilometers. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Sounds rang out in Linley's ears and in his mind. This scene caused Linley to frown. What's going on? Why did so many cultivators suddenly appear? At this moment, Lin Rei sensed that hundreds of cultivators were looking for something in the water. However, everyone was full of vigilance. Moreover, Lin Rei also found that among the hundreds of cultivators, there were compatriots and foreigners. No, now is not the time to expose myself. It's better to use other people's appearance to see them. After saying that, a wave of spiritual energy appeared on Lin Rei's face. At this moment, Lin Rei's face suddenly changed. His muscles began to change. After a while, an unfamiliar and ugly face appeared. At this moment, who could recognize that this person was the generation's sect leader, Lin Rei? Whoosh! Lin Rei moved forward at full speed. Soon, he was close to the group of people. He cast an invisibility spell on himself and then passed by the group of people. What's going on? Why do I feel like someone just passed by me? At this time, one of the people that Lin Rei passed by turned around and looked in the direction where Lin Rei left and asked his companion in confusion. F***ck, are you stupid? There's no one here. At this moment, the middle-aged man heard his companion's words and hurriedly looked around. In the end, there was no one. Impossible, just now I clearly. Okay, don't say any more, hurry up and look. I don't want to stay here forever. Hearing his companion's explanation, the middle-aged man showed an impatient expression and interrupted him. Then, after saying that, he swam towards the depths of the water. Impossible. I clearly felt it. After saying doubtfully, he followed his companion and swam towards the depths of the water. However, after leaving, the middle-aged man's gaze fell on the place where he felt something strange just now. He glanced at it and then turned around and left. Hee, I didn't expect that nascent soul-stage cultivator to be so vigilant. At this moment, when the middle-aged man left, Lin Rei, who was originally leaving, appeared in the same place as the middle-aged man. He looked at the middle-aged man with a playful expression and said, I hope we'll meet again if fate wills it. Without thinking much, Lin Rei swam towards the surface of the water. This time, Lin Rei did not use any invisibility spell. Instead, he appeared in front of everyone's eyes and swam towards the surface. Time passed quietly. Lin Rei saw the color of the sky and suddenly a smile appeared on his face. Finally, I can ask about the air. Damn, I don't know how many days I've been in the water. It's been so suffocating. When I get back, I must eat a big meal. Finally, Lin Rei floated to the surface of the water. The fresh air made Lin Rei feel a little nostalgic. Of course, the most important thing was to eat. Quick, look, someone is coming out. Block that person for me. Just as Linley was thinking that he could finally relax, a loud voice suddenly rang out, causing Linley to be stunned. Just as Linley appeared on the surface of the water, a man standing on an island with extremely sharp eyes suddenly noticed Linley's sudden appearance on the surface of the water. He immediately called out to Linley. Suddenly, the man's voice attracted the attention of the remaining one-third of the strong people present. They all looked at Lin Rei, who was only showing his head. Damn, Huasha man, hurry up, Long Batian, save that kid quickly. We can't let others take him. Morong Chen, who had been observing Lin Rei, shouted to his old friend Long Batian next to him. Then, he released his cultivation and rushed out like a stream of light. At this moment, everyone moved. They were waiting for Lin Ray to surface. Everyone thought that Lin Ray had the treasure that they wanted to get. At this moment, everyone became greedy, selfish, and beast. The glory of their ancestors and the glory of their country became so fragile at this moment. Chapter 218. F***CK. What's going on? I don't think I've seen them before. I haven't even offended them. Lin Ray, who had sensed all this, had already seen their actions. However, the greed in their eyes made Lin Ray wonder why they were grabbing him like this. Of course, Lin Ray didn't know that it was all because of himself. Because of the killing intent at that time, he completed the 1,000-meter vortex. If Lin Ray knew about it, he would be speechless. Humph, boy, give me the treasure you got from the sea. In that case, maybe I'll give you a chance to live. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite. At this moment, an old man who moved first came in front of Lin Ray and threatened Lin Ray with a murderous look. At this time, he had been blinded by benefits and greed, so he didn't feel Lin Ray's aura at all. Ha! Impolite to me? Are you sure you want to be impolite to me? Hearing the old man's words, Lin Ray was suddenly interested and started to chat with the old man. Hurry up, don't talk nonsense. Hand over the treasure and I'll definitely guarantee your safety. Humph, get lost. How dare you threaten the people of Huaxia in my territory? Do you really think the cultivators of Huaxia are dead? Just as Lin Ray was about to speak, Murong Chen and Long Batian came forward and argued with the old man who threatened Lin Ray. Lin Ray could feel that the cultivation of the two old men who spoke was not simple. They had both reached the combination realm. In this space where spiritual power was extremely scarce, it was not easy to cultivate to this realm. Boy, don't be afraid. With my brother, Murong Chen, protecting you, no one here can hurt you. With that, Murong Chen and Long Batian walked in front of Lin Ray and blocked the foreign old man. In terms of momentum, Murong Chen and Long Batian were enough to crush the old man. Ha ha ha, good, Murong Chen, Long Batian, you dare to go against my wolf clan? Have you forgotten what happened back then and want to reenact it? At this moment, the foreign elder seemed to have been enraged. Suddenly, his eyes turned blood red, and he looked extremely demonic. The teeth in his mouth turned into wolf fangs as well. If it weren't for the fact that he looked like a human, Linley would have thought that he was a demonic wolf. Damn, I didn't expect there to be such a thing here. It seems like the days ahead will be more and more interesting. At this moment, Lin Ray's interest was piqued. He wanted to see just how many races there were here. Why wouldn't I dare? Come at me if you have the guts. I don't believe that a mere conjoint body realm demon wolf can defeat the two of us. Murong Chen said it casually, but if one looked closely, they could see that Murong Chen's face was covered in cold sweat, and there was an obvious trace of fear on his face. With that, a magic weapon appeared in his hand in an instant. His face was full of fighting spirit as he looked at the old man who had turned into a demon wolf. Ha! Murong Chen and Long Batian shouted at the same time and rushed toward the old man who had turned into a demon wolf. Their momentum was magnificent and they looked like they were going to kill him. Dong dong dong, the sound of weapons colliding was heard. In the eyes of others, this was a world war, but in Lin Ray's eyes, this was just a child's play. There was no power at all. Bang! Bang! Two sounds of collision rang out. Two figures suddenly appeared before Linley's eyes. Plop, plop, Murong Chen and Long Batian fell directly into the water, and the old man who had turned into a demon wolf had returned to his original appearance. However, at this time, he was in a sorry state and completely lost his previous high-spirited appearance. His clothes were tattered and his hair was messy like weed. He looked like a beggar and was extremely pitiful. Losers. You have already given us the wolf clan back then, and now you are shamelessly against us. If it weren't for the fact that you are all from the 5 major families of Huaxia, I would have killed you long ago." The old man who was now in the air stared at Long Batian and Murong Chen, who had fallen into the water, and his eyes were full of contempt. F***ck, no way. You said before that you would protect me. What's going on now? In fact, Lin Rei already knew that these 2 old men were no match for the old man who had turned into a demon wolf, so Lin Rei didn't think highly of them at all. However, Linley was very interested in the old man who had transformed into a wolf demon. Linley wanted to see if the old man's body was different from that of a normal human. To be able to transform into a wolf and a human at the same time was an incredible feat. Humph, boy, now we should talk. Tell me, what on earth did you get in the sea? The old man didn't even bother to look at Murong Chen and Long Batian. He directly turned his eyes to Lin Rei and asked with narrowed eyes. "Ha! I really want to know where you get your courage from. You are just at the combination realm. Don't you just have a special constitution? Is this what you are so proud of?" At this moment, Lin Rei didn't want to hide himself. Time was tight and the task was important. He didn't want to waste time here, but he didn't release his cultivation. He just said to the old man with a cold face, What's going on?" These sudden words caused the old man to take a step back in fright. The old man himself didn't know what was going on. Just then, when he heard Linley's words, he felt an inexplicable sense of danger. This was the first time in his life that he had ever felt so uneasy. What's going on? It wasn't just the werewolf old man himself. Even the 2 old men who fell into the water behind him and the surrounding cultivators who dared to come had a strange look in their eyes. That was because they saw that the old man, who was fighting 1 against 2, actually took a step back in fright when he heard the words of a junior. This made them take it seriously. Since you don't know what's good for you, don't blame me for bullying you." When the old man saw that his words didn't scare the young man in front of him and instead made him take a step back, his patience was exhausted at this moment. Anger surged up in him. "Ha! A little ant dares to compete with the sun and moon. How dare you?" Seeing the old man's actions, Lin Rei was also angry. He had always been accompanying his master to eat tigers, but now Lin Rei had had enough. Using his spiritual energy, his body slowly floated up until it reached a certain height. Only then did Linley's body stop. At this moment, the werewolf old man saw this scene and froze in the air. His eyes were filled with disbelief. The old man looked at the young man in the air. You. At this moment, the werewolf old man's voice trembled as he stuttered while pointing at Lin Rei. Come here." Without wasting any words, Lin Rei's eyes flashed with disdain when he saw the old man looking at him. He raised his right hand to his chest and circulated his spirit energy. A suction force appeared and suddenly, the old man's body flew uncontrollably toward Lin Rei's hand. With a whoosh, the old man's speed was very fast. In one moment the old man was still in the same place, but in the next moment, he was in Lin Rei's hand. "Ha! A little cultivator wants to kill me, and you even dare to call yourself Lord in front of me. Do you think your little werewolf clan can overturn the heavens?" At this moment, Lin Rei's one hand was choking the old man from the werewolf clan. His tone was full of disdain. Moreover, in Lin Rei's eyes, the werewolf clan was just a mutated race. As long as he was obedient, it would be fine. If he was not obedient, Lin Rei would not mind paying a visit to the werewolf clan. Cough, cough. I'm sorry, Senior. This old man. Oh no, this junior did not know Senior's cultivation. As the saying goes, where it is possible to forgive, one should forgive. Senior, please let me go. The old man who was choked by Lin Rei wanted to cry at this moment. How could he have known that such a young man would have such a powerful cultivation? Not only the old man from the werewolf clan, but even Murong Chen and the other 2 who were in the water were stunned. The scene in front of them happened so fast that they could not wrap their heads around it. Damn, I'm going to eat a tiger with you. The old man's aura, he must be a senior who is going through the heavenly tribulation. At this moment, Murong Chen, who was in the water, looked at the scene in horror. He gauged Lin Rei's cultivation and said in surprise, I didn't expect that such a young man would have such a powerful cultivation. I'm really ashamed." His words had hit the nail on the head. Everyone present was thinking the same thing. However, they did not dare to say a word. They did not even dare to send a telepathic message. They could only watch the scene quietly. "Now you know you're wrong? Don't you think it's too late? I want to know now why all of you are here and why are you blocking me?" At this moment, Lin Rei, who was the main character of the scene, asked all the questions in his heart. "Cough, cough, cough, senior, this is my fault. I didn't understand what was going on and said those words to you. I said, why are you blocking me? If you continue to dilly-dally and cover things up, I'll feed you to the sharks." Hearing the old man from the wolf tribe dilly-dally, Lin Rei could not help but threaten him with a murderous look on his face. Everyone present felt it. The wolf tribe who was closest to Lin Rei felt it clearly. Yes, I'll tell you now. This is what happened. A few days ago, a 1,000-meter whirlpool suddenly appeared here. After it was observed by the satellites in space, it was transmitted to the special departments of various countries. So we came here. We all thought that there was a treasure here, so when we saw you coming out of the sea, we thought. At this point, the old man from the wolf tribe did not continue. That was because he saw Lin Rei's cold gaze. So, he was afraid. Ha ha. Treasure? At this moment, Linley chuckled. When he heard the old man wolf mention the 1,000-meter whirlpool, Linley realized that wasn't the whirlpool he had created during his battle with the WRM earlier on. Chapter 219. Alright, since you said that there are heavenly materials and earthly treasures here, I'll let you stay here forever and guard your heavenly materials and earthly treasures. Crack. A sound came from the neck of the old man from the wolf tribe in Lin Rei's hand. The sound was not very loud, but no one present was an ordinary person. They were all cultivators who had opened their 5 senses. As cultivators, they could still hear the sound made by Lin Rei clearly. Right now, in their eyes, Linley was like a god who controlled life and death. Right now, they didn't even dare to breathe loudly. Oh, treasures? Even if there are treasures, it depends on whether you have the life to use them. Linley didn't even bother to look at the werewolf expert who had been crushed to death by the old man. He tossed the corpse away. From this moment onwards, this person no longer existed in this world. At this moment, the scene was very quiet. The very strange atmosphere made everyone feel a little awkward, especially Murong Chen and Long Batian, who were in the water. The two of them were the most embarrassed. Previously, they kept saying that they would protect the young man in front of them, but now they were just pretending. At this moment, they wanted to find a hole to crawl into. On the other hand, the cultivators who were flying in the air were a little better. At least, they were not as embarrassed as Murong Chen and Long Batian. Time slowly passed. Linley's divine sense had already sensed those disciples he had released. For a moment, Linley had the thought of returning. However, the heavens didn't let him. There would always be some people who refused to accept this, and wanted to fight a hopeless battle. Just as Lin Rei was about to leave, suddenly, a group of cultivators, no matter which country they were from, rushed out. One of them was carrying the body of the old man from the wolf tribe who had just been killed by Lin Rei. Bang! A group of people splashed out of the water. Hundreds of people appeared in the sky in an instant, looking at the people outside with murderous intent. Who is it? Who killed the powerhouse of my wolf tribe? Come out! At this moment, the person carrying the old man's body glanced at everyone with murderous intent and roared at the sky. His voice shook the sky. Some people even covered their ears because they could not bear the pain caused by this roar. Of course, there were also a few people who did not feel anything and just stood in place. After the roar, no one stepped forward to explain the situation because they did not dare. They had seen Lin Rei's combat strength. Even if they were a few times more courageous, they would not dare to stand out and say anything. Haha, very well. Since you won't say anything, I will use my own way to understand the situation. The middle-aged man saw that no one stepped forward, so he was filled with grief and anger. Finally, he did the most irrational thing. Wolf Tribe's powerhouses of the Wolf Tribe have been killed today. What should we do? Suddenly, the middle-aged man turned around and roared at the cultivators behind him. His face was filled with determination. Revenge, revenge, kill, kill, kill. Suddenly, the will of revenge of nearly 100 powerhouses of the Wolf Tribe formed a terrifying murderous intent in the air. Slowly, the murderous intent condensed into a totem. No one knew what it meant. Perhaps only the members of the Wolf Tribe knew what it meant. Tribe members, since this is the case, then kill. But if any of the cultivators here does not say anything, then kill them until they answer. The middle-aged man ordered. Nearly 100 members of the Wolf Tribe instantly moved out. This was a powerful group of cultivators. Apart from Lin Rei, who else had the ability to mobilize so many powerhouses at once? Boom! A terrifying energy exploded. Nearly 100 members of the Wolf Tribe began to kill everywhere. No matter who it was, as long as they were not members of the Wolf Tribe, there was only one word for them: death. Wolf Tribe, does your tribe want to become the enemy of the entire world? At this moment, a group of powerhouses could not stand it anymore. They stepped forward and said to the middle-aged member of the Wolf Tribe. His voice was weak. If one listened carefully, they could see that the man who stepped forward was trembling when he spoke. Become the enemy? So what if we become the enemy? Our Wolf Tribe is like this. Anyone who offends our Wolf Tribe will kill our members. No matter who it is, the Wolf Tribe will take revenge on them. When he heard that person's retort, the middle-aged man from the Wolf Clan rushed over with killing intent. Everyone could tell that he wasn't just talking to that man. Instead, he was talking to everyone present. Poof! The middle-aged member of the Wolf Tribe was very strong. He had already reached the middle stage of crossing tribulation. The man who stepped forward was only at the spirit-severing stage. The middle-aged member of the Wolf Tribe disappeared. When he reappeared, his hand was already in the chest of the man who stepped forward. Blood slowly flowed out of the middle-aged member of the Wolf Tribe's hand. His hand was still holding a heart that had stopped beating. Lin Rei saw all of this. However, Lin Rei had seen too much of this. Therefore, Lin Rei could only do nothing in the face of this. Let's see how long you can hide. The people of your tribe are being killed. I don't believe that you people who are hiding in the dark will not come out to save them. At this moment, Lin Rei was waiting for those powerhouses who were hiding in the dark. After Lin Rei came out to kill the elder of the Wolf Tribe, he had already discovered that there were several powerhouses who were already at the peak of the Mahayana realm watching the battle in the surrounding sky. However, they had not intervened yet. Lin Rei was even more certain that there must be a powerhouse of the Wolf Tribe among the powerhouses at the peak of the Mahayana realm. Otherwise, these wolf cubs would not have done such a heaven-defying act. Kid, why did I leave you out? At this moment, Lin Rei, who had been quiet and undisturbed, suddenly heard a voice that made him frown. Humph, all the more I have to kill you since you have such ugly thoughts. At this moment, a werewolf clansman whose thoughts were all over the place and whose appearance was extremely ugly came up to Linley and said a few words, which immediately caused Linley to laugh. Ha ha! Wolf cub, are you sure you're not mistaken? Who between the two of us is ugly? How dare you show yourself in front of others like this? Your mother probably doesn't even want to acknowledge you. Upon seeing the person who spoke, Lin Rei couldn't help but laugh and tease. However, the last sentence completely infuriated the man of the wolf tribe. Damn, don't tell me I'm telling the truth. Even your mother doesn't want to acknowledge you? Upon seeing the expression and actions of the man of the wolf tribe, Lin Rei asked again with uncertainty. Kid, if I don't kill you today, I won't be an expert of the younger generation of the wolf tribe. As he spoke, his brain rushed up and wanted to kill Lin Rei. However, how could a cultivator of the lower stage of the tribulation stage kill Lin Rei? Seeing the man's attack, Lin Rei tilted his head and easily dodged the attack of the man of the wolf tribe. Haha, you want to kill me with your current strength? However, seeing you like this annoys your mother. Since that's the case, I'll clean up the house for your mother. Whoosh. After speaking, Lin Rei's hand quickly pointed towards the man. If an earthly immortal expert was here, they would definitely see that when Lin Rei made his move, the surface of his finger had already turned golden. Crack! Lin Rei's finger pierced into the head of the man of the wolf tribe without any hindrance. Immediately, a red and white liquid splashed out from between Lin Rei's fingers. Humph, all of you get out here. Don't be sneaky up there and pretend to be an expert. At this moment, Lin Rei had lost his patience. He instantly released his cultivation and roared at the few experts of the peak of the Mahayana stage, who were hiding in the sky. Boom! The spiritual power of the middle stage of the tribulation stage was released and spread in all directions, directly bringing the chaotic scene under control. Hearing Lin Rei's words, everyone's eyes turned to the sky. They wanted to see who the expert that Lin Rei was talking about was. Ha ha! Good. I didn't expect to see such an expert here. It's really not in vain for me to come here. A hearty laugh sounded and a white-haired expert walked out of the sky. Not long after, another one appeared. In the end, 6 experts walked out from different places. Their auras were the same as Lin Rei's. They were all at the peak of the Mahayana stage. Humph, peak Mahayana stage experts. I'm sure you're all the top experts of your respective countries. I don't want to say much here. I don't want to explain what happened today. Furthermore, I hope that something like this won't happen again. His face was cold and murderous as he ordered the 6 Mahayana stage experts who had appeared in the sky. That's right, it was an order. If it was someone with a cultivation base lower than theirs, Lin Rei wouldn't have given the order and would have killed them directly. However, they were the elites of their respective countries, after all, the pillars of their respective countries. Don't be so arrogant, young man. You're just the sound of flesh being torn apart rang out. In the instant that the foreign Mahayana stage expert was killed, Lin Rei vanished on the spot. When he reappeared, he was right next to the foreign Mahayana stage expert. Unlike before, Lin Rei didn't joke around with him. Instead, he directly snapped the old man's neck and crushed his nascent soul. I hate it when people interrupt me when I'm talking. After killing the old man, Lin Rei reappeared in his original position. He moved with incredible speed, to the point where they almost didn't dare to believe their eyes. No one said anything. At this point, the Xuanzong Sect disciples who had arrived earlier emerged from the water and unleashed their cultivation bases. 3,000 Xuanzong Sect disciples appeared in front of Lin Rei, then dropped to their knees and kowtowed to Lin Rei. Chapter 220. The incident in the Pacific Ocean ended with a shocking scene. All the countries warned by Lin Rei withdrew all the people who were unfavorable to Huaxia and told them that Huaxia would be a friendly country in the future, and they would put the interests of Huaxia first. Everything had a happy ending. At this time, Lin Rei took the 3,000 disciples of the Xuanzong sect to a place and put them into the Cloud Tower, leaving only Dian Wei, Bai Qi, and a few other subordinates who were summoned by him. Then, he rushed back to his villa in Tianwan Garden in Yanjing as fast as he could. When Linli returned to the entrance of the villa, he felt a sense of belonging in his heart. This was a feeling that Linley had only felt before when he had become an ordinary person. Phew, I'm finally back. This excursion was truly exhilarating. However, the harvest is still pretty good. At the very least, the profound sect has grown a bit stronger. Furthermore, they have their own beast division. At this moment, he was at the door of his villa. Thinking about the gains, he couldn't help but giggle. Dian Wei and the others behind Lin Rei were looking at him in confusion. Of course, Bai Qi and Bing seemed to know what Lin Rei was laughing about. Well, young master, now that you're home, let's go in. Perhaps young madam has been crying her eyes out over your matter these past few days. At this moment, when Lin Rei was thinking about the gains of the past few days, Dian Wei's words startled Lin Rei back to reality. Damn it, how could I forget about that? I've been so focused on finding that thing that I forgot to tell them that I'm safe. TSK, this is bad. After thinking about this, he slapped his forehead and said with a guilty and regretful face. Then, he hurriedly rushed into the villa. Whoosh, whoosh. Suddenly, there was a sound. The moment Linley left the villa, the members of the dark group appeared by his side. More than 10 people surrounded Linley's group so tightly that not even a drop of water could pass through. Bastards, how did you protect them? Didn't you see who attacked them? Go to the Ministry of Criminal Law to receive your punishment. The sudden scene frightened Dian Wei, but he was an expert in the Mahayana realm after all. He soon came back to himself and scolded the members of the dark section. Puff, puff. The more than 10 disciples of the dark department all knelt down when they saw that it was their young master, waiting for Linley's punishment. However, they ignored Dian Wei's words as if they didn't hear him at all. All right, get up. It's not the first time anyway. In the future, observe everything around you with your divine senses at all times. In this way, not only can you see who it is, but you can also hone the strength of your divine senses. Looking at their expressions, Linley did not take it to heart at all. After all, during the few days that he was not around, they had been protecting his family day and night. If he were to punish them over such a small matter, Linley would not be able to do it. After all, they were all his brothers and the future pillars of the profound sect. Yes, thank you, young master. Upon hearing Linley's words, those people who had been trembling in fear all stood up with smiles on their faces, thanking Linley profusely. Well, you can continue. Looking at them, Lin Rei smiled and led Dian Wei and the others to the room. Gotcha. The door was pushed open by Linley. In the middle of the living room, there was a group of people sitting together, chatting excitedly and curiously, as though they were playing some sort of game. Seeing this, Linley knew that his younger brother hadn't told them about what had happened to him. Seeing this, Linley let out a sigh of relief. Ah, honey brother, you're back. Lin Rei's action attracted the attention of the others who were playing the game. When Jin Ling, Lin Feng, Lin Ro, and the others saw Lin Rei, they happily left their seats and ran to Lin Rei's side. Well, did you miss me when I wasn't around these few days? Looking at his lovers and brothers and sisters around him, Lin Rei asked with a happy smile. Yes, we did. We couldn't wait to go to you. But you told us to stay at home, so we didn't. But why did you come back so late? You came back a few days ago, didn't you? Indeed, what Linley was most afraid of had happened. But there was nothing he could do about it. This wasn't something he could consider. Brother Lei, when I came back, my sister-in-law asked me where you went. I told her that you went to look for clues about your mother. Just as Linley was trying to figure out how to reply, the nearby excited young man suddenly sent Linley a mental message, telling Linley all of the lies he had told earlier. Only this way would Linley be able to cover up his lie. Otherwise, the consequences would be unthinkable. Oh, here's the thing. I asked my younger brother to find my mother a few days ago, and I suddenly found clues about my mother, so I delayed it. You won't blame me, will you? At this moment, Lin Rei said to Jin Ling innocently, but he was relieved. Of course not. Am I that unreasonable again? Mother's matter is a big deal. How dare I stop you? Hearing her husband's words, Jean Ling couldn't help but roll her eyes at Lin Ray and said aggrievedly, "Well, you can continue to play. I'm going to discuss something with them." Seeing that the matter was settled, Lin Ray separated Jean Ling and the others, and then said something to them. Then he took Dian Wei and the others and the younger brother, who had already returned, to the study upstairs. "Humph, you only know how to discuss things with your brothers as soon as you come back. You don't even know how to say a few words to others. What a blockhead." Jean Ling didn't stop Lin Ray, but when they disappeared, Lin Ray couldn't help but complain, obviously unhappy. "Sister-in-law, don't be sad about Big Brother. Let's hurry up and play. We haven't finished the game just now." Lin Ro and Jean Ling, who had been silent, quickly diverted Jean Ling's attention to the game that they hadn't finished playing just now. In the study upstairs, Lin Ray sat on the sofa, and the others obediently sat opposite Lin Ray. They didn't say a word, and all their attention was focused on Lin Ray. "What the hell, what are you doing? There are no outsiders here. You are all my closest brothers. Don't be shy. Hurry up and sit down." Looking at them, Lin Ray said to them helplessly, and his tone was full of familial gentleness, "Yes, young master." After Lin Ray finished speaking, the younger brother sat down without restraint, and the other subordinates summoned by Lin Ray chose to sit down after receiving orders from Lin Ray, just like before. Alas! Where are you guys? Looking at them, Lin Ray sighed helplessly and didn't say anything more. "Alright, in the future, all of you will have to start working. I want to finish everything in the shortest time possible. This way, we can return to the world that belongs to us. Young brother, tell me about your matters first. How are the groups that you control?" At this moment, Lin Ray changed the topic. He turned his head and asked the young man who had returned a few days ago. "Yes, it's almost done." Hearing Lin Ray's words, the young man said confidently, "After I got there, I controlled 4 of the top financial groups in the world. Then, I moved them all to Yenjing and made them not merge for the past few days. Not only that, I also changed the name to the name that I used in Tianxian, Jiutian Trading Company." Hearing the young man's report, Lin Ray's eyes flashed with a trace of surprise. Then, his face was full of smiles. Although he had expected this scene, it was just a thought after all. It couldn't be compared to reality. "Good, well done. Young brother, you are indeed a young brother. I can rest assured that you can do things well. I'll have to trouble you with this matter. I don't know much about this place. You guys should be on standby at any time. During this time, from time to time, make some trouble for the 5 big families. Let them feel that a crisis is coming." At this moment, Lin Ray had a vague idea in his heart. His mother was Ouyang Jing, and one of the 5 big families in Huaxia was called the Ouyang family. Therefore, Lin Ray didn't want to know that this matter was related to the Ouyang family. "Well, I understand, Brother Lei. I'll let them start preparing tomorrow, but it's too early to let them take action now. After all, they just came here from another country and have already caused a big stir. Moreover, their foundation here is not very stable. If we let them take action at this time, I'm afraid that they will soon be defeated." Listening to the young man's explanation, Lin Ray nodded and agreed. He thought about it in his heart and felt that it was true. Then, he suppressed his excitement. "Well, since you're there, then you'll be the one following those bastards by Qi. Wait until you go to school with Lin Feng and the others. Then, if they want to kidnap Lin Feng and the others, don't be impulsive and don't show up. Wait until they reach their destination, then quietly take them out. Then, come back and tell me the address." "Yes, this subordinate obeys." With a swish, Bai Qi, who had been on standby, stood up from the sofa in an instant after hearing Lin Ray's order and responded to Lin Ray. Don't be so excited. I believe that you can report this matter. Sit down first. Lin Rei had long been used to Bai Qi's big movements. After all, it was Lin Rei who summoned Bai Qi and Dian Wei first, and he had gone through life-and-death situations with them. Therefore, they still had a special relationship with each other. Yes, sir. Bai Qi sat down with a serious expression in his eyes. However, Dian Wei, who had been sitting next to him, couldn't hold it any more. Chapter 221. Young Master, what about me? What about me? At noon, Dian Wei couldn't help but stand up and ask Lin Rei excitedly. Ugh! For a moment, Lin Rei was at a loss for words when he saw Dian Wei's reaction. Well, Dian Wei, I know you want to help, but there's no suitable mission for you yet. So, you'll have to stay at home and familiarize yourself with the basics of life in this world. His words ignited Dian Wei's fury. As a general in ancient times, he had a fiery temper. What? No, young master? Old Bai has something to do. I want to go out too. Or, I can follow old Bai. Dian Wei, shut up. Are you out of your mind? How dare you talk to young master like that? At this moment, Bai Qi changed his expression when he heard Dian Wei's words. He quickly stood up and tried to stop Dian Wei, but failed in the end. It's fine, it's fine. Lin Rei, who was sitting next to them, said with a smile after seeing Dian Wei's reaction and Bai Qi's reaction. It's fine. Since he wants to go out with you, you can go out with him. However, I must warn you, don't screw this up. If you screw this up, you'll bear all the consequences. Do you hear me? His words stunned everyone present. If it were in Lin Rei's past temper, he would have used anyone who talked to him like that as fertilizer. But they didn't see that coming. Thank you, young master. At this moment, Dian Wei came back to himself and thanked Lin Rei, but he couldn't help but feel scared when he thought of what he did just now. It's fine. Now that you're all occupied, you can go back to your work. Tian Yun and Ming, I won't talk about your missions for now. For the next few days, you'll have to learn the simple habits of the younger generation. As for Bing, you stay here. I still have something to tell you. After that, Lin Rei drove everyone out except for Bing. She sat on the sofa obediently with her head down. No one knew what she was thinking. When he saw them leave, Lin Rei stood up and walked slowly to Bing's side. He sat down and put his hand on Bing's waist. His voice was full of shame. Bing, I'm sorry. I didn't fulfill my promise in the past few years. I didn't do what I promised you back then. Boo-hoo! Suddenly, Lin Rei's words made Bing, who was in Lin Rei's arms, cry. I'm sorry. I've neglected you these past few years. I don't have any memories of that time. At this point, Lin Rei didn't know what to say. In any case, all he could say was that he hadn't fulfilled his promise back then. Boo-hoo! Why, young master, you don't have to say any more. This isn't your fault. A young lady has told me everything. At noon, Bing, who had been crying silently, finally spoke. However, she couldn't help but sob as she spoke. Sigh. All right. It won't happen again. I will treat you like the apple of my eye in the future. After making a promise to Bing, the relationship between the two was eased. Time passed little by little. What was originally a clear day was passed by as the two of them chatted. At this moment, the sky outside had turned dark. Every household had lit up their lights, especially Lin Rei's villa. However, the lights in Lin Rei's study room weren't turned on. At this moment, the two of them sat on the sofa with their clothes done. Bing leaned quietly in Lin Rei's arms with a blissful expression on her face. Thinking about this was the happiest thing in the world. All right, it's over now. Let's go down and eat. I presume you didn't eat much in the cloud tower. Looking at the weather outside, Lin Rei pulled Bing's hand, opened the door of the study room, and went to the living room. However, when they went downstairs, Bing refused to let Lin Rei hold her hand no matter what. Wow, it smells so good. At this moment, Lin Rei, who had just arrived in the living room, smelled the aroma of food. This was the day he missed the most since he was at the bottom of the sea. At this moment, Jean Ling held a plate of freshly cooked dishes and said to Lin Rei with a smile, "Of course, don't you know who made it?" I know. My wife, your cooking skills are the best." Looking at Jean Ling's appearance, Lin Rei couldn't help but compliment her. "Alright, come down and eat. We're all family, so don't be polite." Seeing that the dishes were all served, Lin Rei raised his head and said to Dian Wei, Bai Qi, and the others in the room. Bing, who was next to him, had already been pressed to the chair by Lin Rei. "Well, don't just talk about them, you should also eat. I've made a lot today, enough for you to eat." At this moment, Jean Ling, who had already taken her seat, looked at Lin Rei and said. Bing took out a bottle of wine from the side and placed it in front of Lin Rei. "Well, when you were away, I went to the winery and found that there was a lot of good wine in it, so I bought a lot for you." With one sentence, all of Linley's attention was diverted to the wine bottle on the table. He walked to the dining table with a smile on his face, sat down, kissed Jean Ling on the cheek, and said in a gentle tone, "Ling knows me well. Why did I miss it when I was away for a few days?" With that, Lin Rei unscrewed the cap of the wine bottle, raised his head, and drank a big mouthful of wine straight into Lin Rei's throat. After a gulp, Lin Rei put on a very satisfied expression, but in other people's eyes, it was such a perverted thing. "Well, don't just drink, eat something." Jean Ling couldn't stand it anymore. She picked up the chopsticks, picked up the food, and stuffed it into Lin Rei's mouth. At this moment, Lin Rei felt very happy. His happy laughter was so silly that the people next to him also laughed. "Well, let's eat, everybody. Go to bed early after eating. There's still a lot of work waiting for you tomorrow." At this moment, Dian Wei and the others had already taken their seats. At this moment, they looked like modern people, which was probably the boy's masterpiece. The meal was soon finished under Lin Rei's wriggling. After the meal, he sat on the sofa and chatted with his younger brother and sister, who he had suddenly disappeared for a while before returning to his room. As for Dian Wei, Bai Qi, and the others, the boy had already arranged rooms for them. "Husband, you're always telling me what you've been doing these days." After finishing his work, Lin Rei had just opened the door and walked into the room when Jean Ling's words made Lin Rei shiver. He thought to himself, "Oh no!" With a bitter smile on his face, he turned around and said truthfully, "I'm sorry. I was afraid that you would be worried, right? So I didn't dare to tell you." With that, Lin Rei came to the bedside and sat down. He hugged Jean Ling and began to tell her everything that had happened these days, including the Pichio. Of course, Lin Rei didn't say who the system was. It didn't mean that Lin Rei didn't trust Jean Ling, but that Lin Rei had already sworn in his heart that no one would tell the truth about the system. What? After hearing the story, Jean Ling was shocked. While listening to Lin Rei, Jean Ling's expression was colorful. Sometimes she was nervous, sometimes she was afraid, and sometimes she was worried. Throughout the whole process, Jean Ling was worried about him. "Hubby, that's enough. Don't hide such things from me. I don't want such things to be in your heart. I'd rather experience such things with you than for you to lie to me." After listening to the story, Jean Ling, who had a serious expression, told Lin Rei about the things in her heart. I know you're worried about me. In the future, I promise that I'll tell you about such things as soon as possible." Looking at his wife, Lin Rei's face revealed a pained expression. He stroked Jean Ling's hair and lay on the bed. "All right, hurry up and go to sleep. There are still a lot of things to do tomorrow. I'm so tired these past few days." Lying on the bed, Linley hugged her and fell asleep peacefully. He didn't touch her or do anything embarrassing like he had done in the past. "Thank you for your hard work." Looking at her husband, who had fallen asleep in seconds, Jean Ling's eyes were filled with heartache as she lay on Lin Rei's chest and fell asleep. Chapter 222. Knock, 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 knock. Who is it? Linley, who was in the middle of a sweet dream, suddenly heard a knock on the door. He was instantly woken up from his sweet dream. He sat up in a daze, rubbed his still blurry eyes with both hands, and shouted impatiently at the door. Knock! At this time, the sound outside the door stopped abruptly. It was unknown whether it stopped because of Lin Ray's voice or because of other reasons. Anyway, the moment Lin Ray finished speaking, there was no more sound. Damn, I just fell asleep and you woke me up with a smile. How can you still let me live? What time is it and you're already disturbing me? Linley, who had been woken up, no longer felt as sleepy as before. He stood up and began to put on his clothes. Although he said he was putting on his clothes, that was not the case. Linley chanted an incantation, and suddenly, miraculously, clothes appeared on his body. These clothes are still the best to wear. Moreover, it's cooler in summer. He looked at his clothes with satisfaction. After tidying them up a little, he went to the door. Gotcha! The door was slowly opened by Lin Ray from the inside. The figure outside the door appeared in front of Lin Ray's eyes. Damn, young man, what are you doing? You came to find me so early. Big brother, I also need to sleep, okay? When the person who knocked on the door appeared in front of Lin Ray, he saw that it was Dong Xiaonan. For a moment, Lin Ray was helpless. This brother Lei, I didn't mean to disturb you. It's just that the situation is urgent, so I had to come to find you. I didn't disturb you and sister-in-law, did I? The young man looked anxious. He was really curious about something that required special effort. Lin Ray originally wanted to ask what the matter was, but when he heard the latter part of the sentence, Lin Ray did not want to ask any more. You brat. You've already knocked on the door, and now you have the nerve to tell me that you didn't disturb me. You're really interesting. After hearing Lin Ray's words, Dong Xiaonan could no longer speak. She looked like she had been wronged. When Lin Ray saw this, Lin Ray was like a deflated balloon. He instantly compromised. All right, tell me, what's the matter? Fei told you to come here and call me if you want to. You're not usually like this. What's wrong with you today? Is there a fire burning your eyebrows? Actually, Lin Ray was also very curious in his heart. If one were to say who was the most stable in their group, it would be the boy. But looking at his appearance today, Lin Ray's heart was filled with doubts for a moment. Slowly, Lin Ray walked in front. As he spoke, he walked downstairs because he had already smelled the aroma of food. Brother Lei, today is the day of the establishment of the Nine Heavens Trading Company. You are the master of the Nine Heavens Xuanzong Sect and the Nine Heavens Trading Company. If you say that you don't go and take a look, it won't make sense. What? At this moment, Lin Ray, who had already arrived at the hall downstairs, was stunned when he heard Dong Xiaonan's words. Originally, he didn't hear that it would take a few days to settle down. He didn't expect that it would already be done today. No, it's a boy. Since I've handed this matter to you, it means that I have full trust in you. So, you can handle this matter. If you're afraid that there aren't enough people, you can call for more at any time. If anyone dares to disobey you in these few years, I'll take care of them for you. Lin Ray walked to the sofa and sat down naked. He pointed to the seat next to him, indicating for the boy to sit down. No. Looking at Lin Ray's gesture, Dong Xiaonan knew the meaning behind it. So, Dong Xiaonan didn't stand on ceremony and sat down directly. Then, she said to Lin Ray excitedly, No, Brother Lei. Since you're the master of the Nine Heavens Trading Company, then you have to go and take a look. If you want to find someone to help you in the future, they will know you. The boy's words directly stumped Lin Ray. To be honest, when he heard the boy's words, Lin Ray also thought about it. After thinking about it, it was indeed the case. Sigh. All right, since it's like this, let's go and take a look after we finish eating. At the same time, we'll see if there are any dishonest people. If there are, we'll get rid of them all this time so that they don't cause trouble for me in the future." After deciding, Lin Ray stood up and walked to his room upstairs. He put on the formal clothes that he had bought before. It wasn't very long ago, and Lin Ray still knew a little about formal clothes. So, it didn't take long for him to come down from upstairs again. This time, it was obvious that the clothes he wore before were much more energetic and handsome. Suit and leather shoes were the standard for ordinary office workers. Lin Ray had thought about it when he was an ordinary person, but ever since he came back, Lin Ray had never thought that he would wear it and go to work from 9 to 5. Wow. Lin Ray, who was downstairs, kept fiddling with his tie. Lin Ray always felt uncomfortable wearing formal clothes. At this time, Jean Ling, who was cooking in the kitchen, walked out and happened to see Lin Ray in a suit. For a moment, her eyes lit up as she looked at Lin Ray with a face full of infatuation. "Wow, hubby, you're so handsome today. If only you could look like this every day." Originally, when he heard his wife praise him, he felt that it was quite good and quite happy. However, when he heard the words, "I can wear it all the time," Lin Ray instantly collapsed. No, Ling don't even think about it. This thing can only be worn for so long. If you want me to wear it all the time, you might as well cripple me." On the spot, without any hesitation, he directly said those harsh words. If he didn't say it, he was afraid that no matter where he went in the future, Jean Ling would make him wear such clothes. Therefore, he could only cut off this thought of hers first. Even if you want to wear it, I don't want to see it." Hearing her husband's words, Jean Ling seemed to be angry. She pouted and looked unhappy. "Brother Lei, sister-in-law seems to be angry. Why don't you go and coax her?" At this moment, Dong Xiaonan, who had been sitting on the sofa, quickly stood up when she saw this scene. She walked to Lin Ray's side and explained everything. "Sigh. Forget it, it's fine. Let's hurry up. Let's hurry up and finish the matter so that I can quickly take off this body. It's really uncomfortable." Hearing the male brother's words, Lin Ray pretended to be indifferent. Then, he sat down and started eating breakfast. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. The breakfast was eaten for a total of 10 minutes. The entire place was silent. No one spoke. They could only eat silently the entire time. Even when they drank the soup, they did not dare to make a sound. Dong! After Lin Ray finished drinking the soup, he placed the bowl directly on the table. For some reason, he seemed to have used a little more strength, and the sound was a little louder. "Let's go, young man." He didn't care, nor did he see Jean Ling's expression at this moment. He just shouted at Dong Xiaonan in his heart and then walked out. Dong! This time, it was Jean Ling. Jean Ling's expression was slightly cold. She looked as if she was the only one who knew how to throw a bowl. She knew how to do it too. She directly threw the bowl and walked upstairs. At this moment, Dong Xiaonan was caught in the middle. She was the most uncomfortable and awkward person. "Oh my God, it seems that it's better to participate less in such things in the future. It's very likely that people's lives will be in danger." After seeing the two of them leave, the young man put down the bowl and patted his chest with his hand, pretending to be afraid. Then, he stood up and walked out of the door. Beep! Just as the young man walked out of the door, he heard the sound of a car horn. He turned his head and saw that Lin Ray was already sitting in the car waiting. Immediately, without hesitation, he drove to the side of the car and opened the door to sit in it. "You lead the way later, I'll drive." Zzz, the sound of the wheels rubbing the ground was heard. With a whoosh, the car rushed out like an awakened beast. Its speed was so fast that it was unimaginable. That Brother Lei. Why don't we drive like this? If this goes on, it'll be easy for the police to catch us. The young man, who was slightly afraid, grabbed the handle above his head and said to Lin Ray, who was driving, with a trembling voice, "Young man, in any case, you're also a cultivator. Why are you afraid of the police? Even if they come quickly, with your reaction speed, if you can't handle this little bit of difficulty, then what's the point of cultivating? What's the point of cultivating? Although Lin Rei said so, Dong Xiaonan could feel that Lin Rei's driving speed had begun to slow down. Little by little, it finally became the speed of a normal car on the road. This scene made people feel strange. A sports car had been driven into a Chevrolet by them. If those car lovers saw this, they would definitely come up and scold them directly. Brother Lei, you might not be worth it. After you left just now, sister-in-law seemed to be angry. Dong Xiaonan, who had nothing to do and no one spoke in the car, spoke to Lin Rei about Yizhuang, who woke up early this morning. What? Lin Rei, who was concentrating on driving, suddenly heard the young man's words. His hands trembled, and the car directly deviated from its original course. The sound of wheels rubbing against each other could be heard. Fortunately, Lin Rei and the young man were both cultivators, so their reaction speed was heaven-defying. In the end, they forcibly corrected the car that had deviated from its original course. F***ck, young man, don't talk nonsense. Ling is angry? Why? Lin Rei, who was full of questions, asked the young man in confusion. Only then did he put on an expression of humility and ask for advice. Previously, sister-in-law said that you looked good in formal wear, but you said that you wouldn't wear it even if you were beaten to death. Later, I don't know if you did it on purpose, but when you put the bowl down, the sound seemed to be louder. So, sister-in-law thought. At this point, the young man didn't continue. The young man believed that he didn't need to say anything else because Lin Rei would also know. Chapter 223. F***ck, I'm done for. According to what you said, can I still go back to my room to sleep after we go back? At this moment, Lin Rei wanted to die. If he had known this would happen, he would have agreed when Jean Ling said that he looked good in formal wear. Alas. Forget it, I'll explain it when we go back. I don't think Ling will be so insensible. After that, Lin Rei stopped talking and focused on driving. After a while, Lin Rei's Lamborghini arrived at the bottom of a high-rise building. Well, Brother Lei, this is the Chamber of Commerce of our Jiutian Trading Company. From now on, this is our company. After stopping the car, the young man took the lead and got out. Then, he pointed at the high-rise building in front of him and said proudly, "Oh!" Lin Rei, who got out of the car, was a little shocked. After all, these things could not be taken away in the future. Besides, these things were things that Lin Rei could only come across by chance in the past. But for the current Lin Rei, these flood dragons were not even worth a piece of top-grade spiritual stone. In that case, let's hurry up and go to the meeting. After the meeting, I still want to go back and coax Ling. At this moment, Linley was very anxious. Firstly, he wanted to search all the strength in his eyes as soon as possible. Secondly, he had made Jean Ling unhappy tonight. Therefore, these two things were very important. Linley was very anxious. Alas! Brother Lei, I didn't expect that you would be so weak in front of the earthly immortals. I didn't expect that you would be so weak in front of sister-in-law. If those earthly immortals who died in your hands saw this, they would be so anxious to come out of the nine nether to seek justice. Ha ha ha! Suddenly, after hearing Lin Rei's words, the young man couldn't help but laugh. He didn't pay attention to whether this was a public place or not. In an instant, Lin Rei was completely embarrassed by those words. His whole face fell, and he had to be cautious with the light of blame. Seeing this, the young man couldn't help but tremble and walk forward. That Brother Lei, let's hurry up and go to the meeting. Aren't you in a hurry to go home? As the young man spoke, he walked into the building. Along the way, he had been holding back his laughter, trying his best not to laugh out loud. Ding dong. At this time, the elevator door opened. Lin Rei and the young man walked in. At this time, there were not many people, only a few. Which floor? Lin Ray walked into the elevator and couldn't help but ask the young man in front of him. Oh, right, I think it's the 33rd floor. I remember John saying yes to me. Hearing Lin Ray's words, the young man hurriedly faced the elevator and pressed the button for the 33rd floor. However, Lin Ray and Dong Xiaonan didn't notice that when they said John's name, the other people in the elevator all glanced at them at the same time. Oh. Hearing the indifferent response, they went to the corner and waited quietly for the elevator to arrive. Ding dong. Soon, they arrived at the 33rd floor where the meeting was taking place. As for the other people, they had already left when they reached the 10th floor. As they left, Linley noticed that a few of the women had glanced at them. Let's go. When the elevator door opened, Lin Ray and Dong Xiaonan walked out and walked towards the 33rd floor. Hello, this is the top floor of Jiutian Trading Company, where the chairman and other directors work. May I ask if you two have an appointment? If there's anything you need, you can tell me. Just as they arrived at the door, Lin Ray and Dong Xiaonan were stopped by a beautiful receptionist at the door. Oh, this beautiful lady, it's like this. John asked us to come here for the meeting, so as long as you tell John that Dong Xiaonan is here, I believe he will let us in. At this moment, Dong Xiaonan, who was behind Lin Ray, suddenly felt terrible when she saw this scene. She had forgotten to tell John about this, so she walked out and said to the beautiful receptionist, This is fine. At this moment, the receptionist was in a dilemma. She wanted to inform them, but she didn't want to. She wanted to inform them because if it wasn't, then her job would be invalid. She didn't want to inform them because she was afraid that if it really was the person that John was waiting for, then her job would still be gone. So, in the end, the receptionist decided to inform them. Please wait here for a moment, I'll go and ask now. With that, the beautiful receptionist walked inside. After a while, the beautiful receptionist walked out with a shocked expression. I'm sorry, Mr. Mail. I'm new here, so he knows you. Please don't hold a grudge against me. At this moment, the beautiful receptionist came to Dong Xiaonan with a shocked expression and quickly bowed to Dong Xiaonan to apologize. Oh, this is nothing. I haven't officially joined yet, so I'm not guilty because I didn't know. If that's the case, can we enter? After the simple matter was settled, Dong Xiaonan smiled and asked the beautiful receptionist. Yes, please come in. She was already terrified when she found out about Dong Xiaonan's identity. After hearing what she said, she couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. Okay, you can continue with your work. With that, Dong Xiaonan gestured for Lin Ray to enter. When the receptionist saw this scene, she was even more shocked. Did I ask for your advice today? Why are both of them the bosses of the company? Of course, Lin Ray and Dong Xiaonan didn't know what the receptionist was thinking. Of course, they didn't want to know either. Looking at the young man's posture, Lin Ray didn't feel that there was anything wrong. He walked directly in front, and Dong Xiaonan followed behind obediently. When they arrived at the door of the meeting, the young man quickly walked to the door and opened it for Lin Ray. The foreigners, who had been waiting in the room, looked at the open door with excitement. A figure appeared in front of the foreigners. For a moment, the foreigners were very disappointed. They thought that it was the person who had done business for them in the past. Ahem, directors, this is the owner of our Jiutian Trading Company. He is your master. At this time, when the foreigners were disappointed, Dong Xiaonan walked in and pointed at Lin Ray, introducing him to the foreigners. Suddenly, the originally disappointed foreigners trembled and knelt on the ground. They kowtowed to Lin Ray and said, I'm sorry, master. We didn't know you were coming. Please forgive us, director. If the people outside were to see this scene, they would definitely be very surprised. These people were at the top of the world now. Someone who could make them kneel and kowtow was definitely a top existence. Well, all of you, get up. I'm here to take a look and tell you what you have to do next. Yes, master. The foreigners kneeling on the ground heard Lin Rei's words and said in pure English. After that, they stood up. By the way, don't call me master in the future. When there are people, you can call me Chief Lin. When there's no one, you can call me young master. As usual, Lin Rei didn't like people calling him master. It was easy for people to think about it. Yes, we will obey your orders, young master. Upon hearing Lin Li's instructions, the foreigners hurriedly agreed. They couldn't hesitate at all. After all, they had taken the mind-controlling pills that Lin Li had given them. Okay, everyone, take a seat. After coming to the main seat, he sat down. Then, he told the people who were standing to sit down. Today, I have two things to announce. The first is who will be in charge of the Jiutian Trading Company. Looking at them, Lin Li immediately spoke of the two things that had been weighing on his mind. Actually, Lin Li had already thought about these two things beforehand. The first thing is that I've appointed Dong Xiaonan as the chairman of the Jiutian Trading Company. With him in charge, if you have any problems, you can look for him. Of course, if he can't solve it, he can look for me. At this moment, Lin Rei said the person in his heart with a smile. In fact, Dong Xiaonan already knew about this, so he wasn't surprised at all. The second thing is that I hope the company can quickly resume operations during this period of time. When everything is back on track, we can start to block the business of the 5 major families in Beijing. Of course, before doing this, we have to ensure our own interest. At this point, Lin Rei's eyes were filled with killing intent. His face became even more ferocious and terrifying. Yes, master. We will definitely complete the task you've given us. Hearing Lin Rei's words, everyone sitting there stood up and replied firmly to Lin Rei's words. In that case, if you have anything to say, just say it. Since I'm here today, let's settle it once and for all. Hearing Lin Rei's words, everyone present began to report to Lin Rei. Yes, master. Young master, you said that we can get on track within 3 months. After all, the merger of the 4 companies isn't realistic. We have to consider all aspects, so it should take a long time. As for the ban of the 5 major families in Beijing, that shouldn't be a problem at all. As long as the 4 companies merge, it shouldn't be a problem to wipe out their businesses. What we're doing now is recruiting all kinds of talent. Together with the people we brought, I believe that we should be able to get on track faster. Yes, master. What John said is also what I want to say. Nothing is a problem now. Of course, time is the only thing. As long as we have time, nothing will be a problem. At this moment, a group of foreigners was chattering non-stop in front of him. For a moment, Lin Rei felt that his head was about to explode. Yes, I understand your problem. Time isn't a problem. It's enough to know that you can complete the process by this year. Chapter 224. Hearing their questions, Lin Rei didn't mind at all. Anyway, he still didn't know exactly which family moved and kidnapped his mother, so there was still time. Okay, that's it then. Thank you for your hard work these days. If there's nothing urgent, I'll go now. Seeing that the matter had been resolved, he was about to slip away, but he was suddenly stopped by John. Young master, please wait. Is there anything else? Lin Rei looked back at John and asked. Oh no, young master. After all, you are now the chairman of Jiutian Trading Company, so let all the employees know of your existence and your appearance. That way, when you come in the future, they won't be blocked outside because they don't recognize you. Yes, John is right. At this moment, several foreign directors sitting next to him heard John and quickly agreed. Yes. Brother Lei, do you want to be blocked outside like today? At this moment, Dong Xiaonan stood up as well, a smile on his face as he reminded Lin Li. I'll leave this matter to you guys. When you go back, just take a photo and make a copy of it and send it to the various departments. Hearing their words, Lin Ray was silent for a while, then he thought of a particularly time-saving method and said it. For a moment, everyone was stunned after hearing Lin Ray's words. They didn't know what to say. Okay, don't say anything. Everything here will be arranged by Dong Xiaonan. If there's nothing else, I'll leave first. With that, Lin Ray stood up and walked out of the door. This time, no one dared to stop him because their reasons were all resolved by Lin Ray. Outside the door, Lin Ray took the elevator and pressed the first floor. The elevator began to descend. Although many people got on the elevator halfway, they didn't know that this building belonged to the pedestrians who took the elevator with them. Soon, the elevator stopped. Lin Ray walked out from inside and came to the door. He looked up and saw that it was almost 10 o'clock. Damn, I only talked for a few minutes inside. I didn't expect such a long time to have passed. She walked to her Lamborghini and put her hand into her pocket. However, she couldn't find it. Suddenly, she remembered that she had given her keys to the young man when she got out of the car. F***ck, he's not even old yet, and he's already forgetful. What will happen in the future? Looking at the stairs and the road ahead, Lin Ray didn't go up to get the key. Instead, he chose to walk. You're lucky. Turning around, Lin Ray made a face at the highest floor of the building, and then walked in the direction of the beginning. What Lin Ray didn't know was that as soon as he left the meeting room, the young man thought that he was on himself and quickly walked out. But at this time, Lin Ray had already entered the elevator. Helplessly, Dong Xiaonan could only take another elevator. However, when she reached the car, she didn't see Lin Ray's figure. Seeing this situation, the young man also knew what was going on. Looks like Brother Lei has returned home. Dong Xiaonan thought that Lin Ray had used magic to return home. However, what she didn't know was that Lin Ray didn't use magic. Instead, he chose to be an ordinary person and walk. As the saying goes, some people are happy while others are sad. The establishment of the Jiutian Trading Company had completed a fatal blow to the entire market, especially the merger of several large consortiums. It was a fatal blow to those who bought stocks. Not only that, whether it was the business world, the political world, or the military world, the comparison attracted a lot of attention. Moreover, this time was quite strange to the outside world. Everyone knew that the major consortiums that had merged had never been united. They were all hostile to each other. This matter was even more puzzling, especially the name Jiutian Trading Company. It was even more thought-provoking. In the meeting rooms of various consortiums in Beijing, all of them were full. Everyone's face was full of worry, as if something bad had happened to Gao Xiangyu. In the meeting room of one of the companies, the atmosphere was gloomy. Everyone in the meeting had a gloomy face. No one was willing to speak. All right, I, Long Tian, understand everyone's feelings. I also know why you're here. At this moment, the middle-aged man sitting at the head of the table, who called himself Long Tian, spoke. His words were incomparably domineering, and he had the aura of a superior. No one dared to look directly at him. Chairman, what's going on? Why did those large consortiums form an alliance? And why did they do it so far away in Beijing? Aren't they clearly going against us by doing this? That's right. Those consortiums have all merged together. They have everything from restaurants to real estate. Moreover, how can we be a match for them? At this moment, when one person spoke, the crowd went crazy. Everyone spoke one sentence after another. The atmosphere in the meeting room was instantly ignited at this moment. All of you, shut up. Look at all of you. You're all shareholders of the Long Group. Look at you. Long Tian, who was sitting at the head of the table, roared at them when he saw their behavior. He could not stand it anymore. What are you worried about? I didn't say that they're coming for us. You also know that the merger of several consortiums will definitely require a period of adjustment. Therefore, during this period, I'll get someone to investigate the person behind them. However, this time, all of you will have to behave. Don't cause any trouble for me. Long Tion's words seemed to have the effect of a guarantee. Long Tion's words made everyone present speechless. Not a single one of them dared to speak. All right, that's all for now. During this period, I'll get someone to investigate thoroughly. You guys should just do your jobs as usual. Don't think too much about other things. Such a situation could be seen everywhere in Beijing. Everyone's face was the same. Their eyes were filled with fear, but in the end, they would all be intimidated by the person sitting at the back of the table. The matter of the Nine Heavens Trading Company had caused an unknown frenzy. Everyone, including the university students, was the same. They were very supportive of the establishment of the Nine Heavens Trading Company. After all, some of them were about to graduate, and the Nine Heavens Trading Company also had the intention of recruiting. Therefore, for them, this was the future. Everyone who threatened the Nine Heavens Trading Company's interests, regardless of whether it was a company or a politician, started to take action. They wanted to find out who was behind this and who was so powerful that he could merge several large consortiums. The emergence of the Nine Heavens Trading Company had caused a fatal frenzy in the entire world. It had become the focus of attention at the tip of the storm. Chapter 225. And the initiator of all this was strolling through the bustling streets of Yanjing. Hey, little dragon, tell me, why is this space so lacking in spiritual energy? But to this extent, no matter how much this place changes, it's impossible for the spiritual energy to become like this. At this moment, Lin Rei didn't even know where he was. When he had nothing to do, he thought of the little dragon. So, he went all the way and directly pulled the little dragon out of the system. Damn, I say, Lin Rei, where's your civic ethics? You can't do this. Why do you have to pull me out when you have nothing to do, big brother? I also need to sleep, okay? At this moment, the little dragon was very helpless. He wanted to flip out, but when he thought that this kind of behavior was useless, his anger dissipated and he only grumbled a few words. Okay, I won't do it in the future. The key is that I have nothing to do now, so I want you to help me see how I can eat to help restore this place to the same level as Tianxian. Even if it can't, it's still better than it is now. At this moment, Lin Rei spoke to the little dragon with a pleading attitude. This scene made the little dragon very surprised. I know that you think I'm very strange, but you should also know that this is the place where I was born and raised. I can't let it be depressed like this. I want to be able to hear the name of this place from other planets or the immortal world one day. The little dragon in the air now listened to Lin Rei's words and didn't know what to say. However, there were some things that he didn't know. After all, he had never been here before. The only time he had been here was when he took Lin Rei away. At this moment, he showed an ashamed expression and said to Lin Rei, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on here. Although I was born in Hongmeng, I'm not familiar with every place, so... Lin Rei, who was originally full of expectations, suddenly felt a lot of disappointment. However, although I don't know what's going on, it's both easy and difficult to restore the abundance of spiritual energy here. Lin Rei, who had originally thought that there was no hope and was disappointed, regained his vigor after hearing the little dragon's words. His eyes shone brightly. Really? You really have a way to recover spiritual energy? Yes, but it's very difficult for the current you. As long as you cultivate to the Daluo realm, you can restore everything here. So, if you want your hometown to be beautiful, it will depend on your ability. The little dragon's words were firmly engraved in Lin Rei's mind. This matter became a driving force in his cultivation. All right, I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, with our relationship, I won't say any more thanks. You can go back now. This was the so-called killing the donkey after it had outlived its usefulness. This sentence stunned the little dragon for a moment before it reacted. F***ck, how can you be like this? In any case, I was the one who thought of a solution for you. The little dragon was obviously unhappy. With a cold snort, the little dragon disappeared from Lin Rei's sight. Of course, only Lin Rei himself could see this. With the matter resolved, Lin Rei's heart also became a lot more cheerful. Looking up at the road at this time, Lin Rei's eyes were full of confusion. Where the F***ck is this? If I knew earlier, I would have driven the car. Looking at the unfamiliar place in front of him, Lin Rei was full of helplessness. For this unfamiliar city, Lin Rei really had no idea what to do. DDD. At this time, a car beeped. A BMW stopped by the side of the road and kept on honking. Lin Rei's attention was all attracted, but the BMW's window glass was the kind that couldn't be seen from the outside, so Lin Rei didn't know who was inside. With a kacha sound, the car door opened. A pair of long legs and white and tender skin made people want to go up and kiss her. However, Lin Rei still hadn't seen that pair of long legs until now. With a bang, a woman walked out of the car and the door was closed. A seemingly familiar person appeared in Lin Rei's sight. At this time, he thought that the woman was very good-looking. She was dressed very seductively, and her pair of high heels made her originally short figure a lot taller. Yo, Lin Rei, what's the matter with you? We haven't seen each other for a few years. Why don't you recognize me? Suddenly, the woman driving the BMW came to Lin Rei's side on her high heels. She pushed Lin Rei's shoulder with one hand and said to Lin Rei with a complaining expression. However, at this moment, Lin Rei was still in a state of confusion. When he heard the woman's words, Lin Rei kept searching his memory for information about this beauty in front of him. Unfortunately, in the end, Lin Rei couldn't find her. I'm sorry. My brain hasn't been working well these 2 years, so I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you. The woman was completely stunned. The woman thought that Lin Rei was joking with her, but after looking for a while, she really forgot about him. Suddenly, the woman was extremely embarrassed. When she didn't know what to say, Lin Rei still said, I'm sorry, I was hit by a car last year, so I have forgotten some people. I'm sorry. He didn't even need to draft a lie that didn't even blush or panic. He just blurted it out. What, car accident? When the woman heard Lin Rei's words, she carefully observed Lin Rei's actions. In the end, Lin Rei looked at her with an apologetic gaze. Sigh. Alright. Since you don't know me, let me introduce myself again. The woman helplessly revealed her name and identity. My name is Shui Manor, and I'm your classmate from university. However, it's a pity that all of us heard that you went missing midway. So, I didn't expect to bump into you here. What? You're Shui Manor? After hearing the woman's words, Lin Rei's memories from the past came back to him. There really was such a person called Shui Manor, but Shui Manor didn't seem so enchanting back then. So, oh, you remember me? Lin Rei's exclamation was naturally heard by Shui Manor, who was beside Lin Rei. When she heard that Lin Rei remembered her name, her face lit up. But you didn't seem so beautiful back then. Looking at the classmate in front of him, Lin Rei directly said the truth. Damn, Lin Rei, why are you still like this? Do you know someone who needs to grow up? I could also grow up to be so beautiful back then, but I also feel that you've changed. Furthermore, why did you dye your hair white? When Shui Manor heard Lin Rei's words, she smiled helplessly. However, her gaze was indeed focused on Lin Rei's white hair. Sigh. As the saying goes, one's hair turns white overnight. Let's not talk about me, let's talk about you. Why are you here? Furthermore, you're dressed so formally. Don't tell me you're going on a date? With regards to his own affairs, Linley wasn't willing to let people he didn't want to know too much about him. Therefore, as soon as they started talking about himself, Linley shifted his attention to Shui Man. I'm going on a date. I don't even have a girlfriend yet. Didn't I graduate? My classmates insisted on organizing a gathering, so I had no choice but to dress like this. Shui Man-er's eyes were filled with disdain when she saw the clothes on this kid. It was obvious that she didn't like this outfit. Right, since I've bumped into you, why don't you come along today? Anyway, we haven't seen each other for so many years. Furthermore, those fellows from your dormitory are coming as well. Why don't you make use of this period of time to meet them? Who knows when you'll be able to meet them in the future? Suddenly, Shui Man-er's eyes flashed as an idea surfaced in her mind. She immediately told Lin Ray about it. To be honest, when he heard Lin Ray say that his roommates were going back, Lin Ray's heart was already moved. After all, they were the ones who took care of him back in school. Every time he was bullied by others, they were the ones who charged forward. This isn't good. After all, I haven't graduated yet. Furthermore, everyone is disappearing just like that. If I go, won't they feel uncomfortable? F***ck, since when did you become so hesitant? Where did that daring lad go? At this moment, Shui Man-er heard Lin Ray's words. In that instant, her temper flared up as she cursed at Lin Ray. What's there to be unsuitable about? We were all good friends back then. Why are you still talking about whether it's suitable or not? It's settled then. The location of the gathering is Tang Hua Hotel. If I still don't know the room number, do you have a mobile phone? Let's save our numbers. Shui Man-er's straightforward personality instantly soared as she decided on this matter, not allowing Lin Ray to refute her. At this moment, Lin Ray felt as though he had seen his university days. I'm sorry. I just came back not long ago, and I haven't bought a mobile phone yet. Why don't you tell me your phone number? I'll go buy a mobile phone later and call you. Lin Ray's words weren't false. He really just came back not long ago. Furthermore, in his mind, he didn't need a mobile phone anymore. Thus, he didn't buy one. However, this was awkward. F***ck, alright. Then you better remember this. Hearing Lin Ray's words, Shui Man-er didn't look down on Lin Ray at all. Instead, she became even friendlier as she told him her phone number without any pretense. Alright, I got it. I'll go buy a mobile phone later and call you. However, what time is it for the gathering? I have to go back and prepare. Since things had already come to this, Lin Ray didn't put on any pretense and asked Shui Man-er directly. Tonight, around 7 p.m., at Tang Hua Hotel. Give me a call when you arrive and I'll come down to fetch you. After knowing the exact time, Lin Ray revealed a smile on his face. However, his heart was filled with excitement. Alright, since that's the case, I'll go back home to pack. You should leave first. You'll be raped easily in your current state. Chapter 226. As he said that, Lin Ray looked at Shui Man-er's alluring body with a lecherous gaze before turning around and walking away. As the saying goes, the onlooker does not mean anything, but the onlooker does. After Lin Ray left, Shui Man-er's cheeks flushed red and her breathing quickened. After Linley's figure disappeared from Shui Man-er's sight, a desolate expression appeared on her originally smiling face. Her eyes were filled with reluctance to part with Linley. Hayes, is he leaving just like that? I haven't even asked him where his house is. What have you been doing for the past few years? You're leaving just like that. Shui Man-er muttered to herself as she sorted out her feelings of disappointment and regained her usual demeanor. See you tonight, Lin Ray. She walked to the side of the car and looked at the place where Lin Ray had disappeared. She opened the car door, boarded the car and drove off into the distance. At this moment, after Lin Ray separated from Shui Man-er, he found a mobile phone store and bought a mobile phone before applying for a SIM card so that he could prepare for the class reunion that night. I didn't expect that I would be able to reunite with them under such circumstances. Hayes, I just don't know if I can still play with them as happily as I did in university. At this moment, He was glued to the road with his mobile phone in his hand. His heart was filled with emotions and melancholy. The moment he thought of his brothers whom he had not seen for so many years and his current status, he could not help but panic. This is all in your head. If you really want to understand, then there's no harm in paying me a visit tonight. If they are still the same as before, then everything will be fine. But if they have really become snobbish, then there's no need to think about them anymore. Just when Lin Ray was feeling conflicted, Lin Ray heard a string of philosophical words that made him feel enlightened. I didn't expect that you would have such a philosophical side to your words. I still thought that. At this point, there was no need for Lin Ray to continue, because Lin Ray thought that he had almost reached a consensus with him, so even if he didn't say anything, he would understand what he was going to say. But who knew? F***ck. Can't you finish your sentence in one go? Why do you have to be so mysterious? Is there any meaning in that? At this moment, the little dragon in the air said to Lin Ray with a displeased look. At the same time, the little dragon asked the question that Lin Ray didn't say earlier. But who knows what's going to happen next? At this time, Linley was already dumbfounded by the words of the rather large little dragon. He had seen stupid people before, but he had never seen someone so stupid. But who would have thought that a person who only knows how to insult me every day would actually be able to spout such good farts? You! As soon as Linley's words came out, Xiaolong's face instantly turned red. He looked extremely adorable. He had always been a chubby little thing, but now that he looked like this, anyone would want to go over and pinch Xiaolong's cheek. What are you talking about? What good fart? I didn't even. With that, the little dragon swallowed her words under the blanket. Perhaps it was because she was angered by Lin Ray, but she didn't understand Lin Ray's meaning and continued her sentence. Ha ha. Cough cough. At this moment, Lin Ray was so small that he almost stuffed his head into his stomach. In the end, he laughed so hard that he started coughing. I'm not talking to you anymore. Just you wait. You better not come and beg me in the future. Seeing that she couldn't win against Lin Ray, the little dragon could only leave behind some harsh words and disappeared back into the system world. Damn, she's angry just like that. A product of the Hongming period is so tolerant. Looking at the disappearing little dragon, Lin Ray was helpless and could only end the matter helplessly. At this moment, Lin Ray, who had finished scolding the little dragon, could only walk back to his house. Now, the most difficult task was how to appease the angry Jean Ling Linley, who had originally thought that it wouldn't be a long journey, walked from 11 in the morning to 1:30 in the afternoon before arriving at his house. Damn, I won't do this again. It's better to teleport home. This is so damn tiring. Along the way, Lin Ray had already experienced the pain of being an ordinary person. However, because of this, Lin Ray was also becoming more and more uncomfortable with the life of an ordinary person. Creak. The big iron door was pulled open by the dark group's disciples. Lin Ray's figure appeared in front of the patrolling dark group's disciples. We pay our respects to the young master. All the dark group's disciples who saw Lin Ray all knelt on the ground and kowtowed to Lin Ray. And all of you get up. Didn't I say it before? This place is different from other places. In the future, avoid this kind of etiquette if possible. Wait until we reach the real place, then we'll talk again. Looking at their appearance, Lin Ray was also very helpless. These words, Lin Ray had said it countless times. However, they still remembered it on the first day. On the second day, they would return to their original appearance and all the etiquette would be out. Yes. All the dark group stood up and continued to patrol. Lin Ray, on the other hand, tiptoed into the villa. He glanced at a wall and looked for his wife. Where did he go? Shouldn't he be sitting on the sofa reading or watching TV at this time? Lin Ray dared to guarantee that he knew his wife's habits quite well. However, in this situation, it was out of his expectations. At this moment, Lin Rei did not find Jean Ling's figure anywhere that his eyes could see. Sigh. It seems that Ling is really angry. TSK, why didn't I see it at that time? At this moment, Lin Rei's heart was filled with regret. If he had paid more attention to Ling Er's appearance, he would have been able to see where she couldn't take off. However, at that time, he only wanted to quickly finish the meeting and take off his clothes, so he ignored her feelings. For this, Lin Rei's heart was filled with guilt. Lin Rei, who was bent over and hiding by a wall, did not notice that the Jean Ling he was looking for had already unknowingly stood behind him. However, at this moment, he was distracted and did not feel Jean Ling's aura. "Hubby, what are you doing here?" Lin Rei's scream was heard from Lin Rei's mouth. His actions were even more exaggerated as he directly jumped up. "Aya, what are you doing? My ears hurt from shouting." Lin Rei's actions made Jean Ling cover her ears with a dissatisfied look. "Phew, Linger, you scared me to death." At this moment, Lin Rei was truly frightened. Originally, he was looking for her, but she actually appeared behind him. This kind of plot, even in a TV series, he didn't want to see it happen to him today. Humph, the embarrassing thing was that he just said a lot of words. Lin Rei didn't know if Linger heard it or not. You think I scared you? You're the one who scared me, okay? I just came back from outside and found you staring at me. Besides, with your cultivation, it should be very easy for you to find me at this distance. Who knew that you didn't feel anything?" At this moment, Jean Ling revealed a face of dissatisfaction as she spoke to Lin Rei. She had a look of, "If you blame me, who am I going to blame?" The way she looked. Alright. It's my fault. It's my fault. I shouldn't have scared our Linger, alright? It's my fault. Seeing that the opportunity had arrived, how could Lin Rei be so stupid as to let this opportunity slip away? He immediately said softly and quickly pulled Jean Ling to the sofa. He pressed Jean Ling down on the sofa. Instantly, this action made Jean Ling feel that something was amiss. "No. That's not right. Hubby, your current actions are very wrong." At this moment, the flattered Jean Ling began to let her imagination run wild. Although her husband would usually say such words, today, he was too enthusiastic. Sigh. "It's like this. After I walked out this morning, I felt that you were angry, but I couldn't coax you in time. I originally wanted to coax you as soon as I came back today, but I didn't expect you to be shocked when I left." Lin Rei's words made Jean Ling come to a sudden realization, and her heart became much clearer. "So it's like this for a while, right? Actually, hubby, you don't have to do this. No matter what, we're already an old couple. There's no need for this kind of thing between us." Looking at her husband's appearance, Jean Ling's heart felt warm. It wasn't because of Lin Rei's words, but because of his attitude. In fact, Jean Ling had already forgotten that she had woken up early. "That's right. We've been together for 6 or 7 years. Hearing his wife's words, Lin Rei was immersed in his memories. He thought of when they met. He thought of how Jean Ling had given up her original life for him and followed him back to the powerful mountain range. He thought of every day they were together. He thought of when he had Jinan. He even thought of how she was willing to die in order to prevent him from getting hurt. In fact, there was no need for words to express the relationship between them. Yes, it's been 7 years. And should be 5 years old now. Hearing his wife's words, Lin Rei couldn't help but think of that little guy, his son. Ever since Jinan's behavior, Lin Rei had hated him for a period of time, but after all, he was his son. In the end, Lin Rei could only let him enter the dark department and train with those dark department people. It had been more than a year now. At the same time, Lin Rei also understood Jean Ling's feelings. Who didn't want their child to live by their side all the time? Who couldn't go far and see their son every day? And that's right. He has been in there for almost a year. It's time for him to come out. These words made the originally silent Jean Ling immediately excited. The happy expression on her face fell into Lin Rei's eyes without any concealment. Sigh. You haven't had this kind of expression for a long time. Other than the few years when you were on the isolated island, you haven't had such a smile since you returned to the Tianxian continent. Looking at his wife's smile, Lin Rei couldn't help but be a little dazed. At this moment, Jean Ling's expression only appeared when she was lonely and Lin Rei lost his memory. Chapter 227. Unfortunately, Lin Rei couldn't say these words because he knew that he didn't have any burdens when he lost his memories. But now it was different. After all, he had tens of thousands of disciples behind him. In the future, there might be hundreds of thousands or even millions of disciples. In addition, he had the system. Therefore, Lin Rei could only hide these words in his heart. The only thing he could do was to make Ling Er happy. Okay, you go and tidy up later. I have a gathering today. There are 3 of my best brothers there. When the time comes, I will introduce you to them. At this moment, Lin Rei had already returned to his previous state. His mood was calm as he told Ling Er about tonight's event. Oh. Okay, I will go and tidy up now. Although I know I didn't think it would be that good, I will definitely not embarrass you. Hearing her husband's words, Jean Ling quickly stood up and hurriedly ran upstairs. She didn't know if it was because she was in a hurry, but when she went upstairs, the sound was all thumping. Ai. It's time to go and see him. I don't know if he will hate me. Seeing Ling Er disappear, Lin Rei directly stood up and went to a guest room with a guilty expression. He locked the door and then his body flashed with golden light and disappeared. When he reappeared, Lin Rei naturally came to the 7th floor of the Cloud Pagoda. It was the place where the dark department cultivated. Who? Exhaling, with a heavy heart, Lin Rei walked towards a courtyard. The way he walked, each step was heavier than the last. His heart was incomparably heavy. When he thought that he would be able to see his son soon, his eyes couldn't help but moisten. Ha! 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 Outside the courtyard, the sound of a fight could be heard coming from the courtyard. It could be heard that it was a child. It could also be imagined that there were no other children here other than his own son. Good, not bad. At this moment, a rough male voice sounded. Hearing this, it was obvious that he was praising his son. Lin Rei couldn't help but put his hand on the door. With a little force, the door was pushed open, and a thin figure appeared in Lin Rei's pupils. At this moment, the skinny little boy, perhaps because he was too tired, bent over and panted heavily. The sweat on his forehead flowed down without stopping. Seeing this scene, Lin Rei's heart ached. A child who was only 5 or 6 years old was being trained like this. Which father and daughter wouldn't feel heartache when they saw this scene? Ah, son, I've let you down, he roared in his heart. At this moment, the tears in his eyes finally flowed down. His lips trembled as he shouted at Jean's back, Enner. Swoosh. The exhausted Jean had wanted to lie down on the floor, but when he heard this voice, his heart couldn't help but tremble. His exhausted body turned around and saw Linley standing at the door with tears in his eyes. It was his father. You. Why are you here? The voice was very calm. It was so calm that it made Lin Rei feel very sad. Seeing this scene, he kept asking himself in his heart, was I wrong? Was I wrong? The Dark Unit greets the Sect leader. At this moment, the members of the Dark Unit were even more shocked. This was because, in their hearts, Lin Rei was a godlike existence. Well, you can leave first. I have a few words with Jinan. Seeing the Dark Section disciple kneeling on the ground, Linley nodded. He didn't even look at him as he directly spoke to him. Yes, your subordinate obeys. The Dark Unit member kneeling on the ground had a disappointed expression on his face. He responded, stood up, and walked out. At noon, when only Lin Rei and Jinan were left in the courtyard, Lin Rei opened his mouth and said, "Son, do you have special feelings for me now?" Finally, the words that he had not dared to ask were spoken at this moment. However, when he said these words, Lin Rei was almost suffocating. "I don't hate you. At that time, I didn't do well enough. I put my mother's comfort in such a dangerous situation. If I had been braver at that time, it would have been better. Therefore, I don't want to follow you. You made me realize this point." Calm, still very calm. This kind of calm made Lin Rei feel redundant. It made Lin Rei feel that he was not his father, but his master. "No, I know you hate me. But you have to know that you are the future young master of the Xuanzong sect. In the future, you will inherit my mantle. Therefore, I have to change all your bad habits. I have to let you know the weight on your shoulders. It needs to be strong enough to bear it. Therefore, it doesn't matter if you hate me or not. In short, all of this, I don't regret it." At this moment, all the words in his heart were revealed. Since things had already come to this, Lin Rei was not afraid. Things would only get worse. "Ha!" Jin-en sneered, and his face was full of disdain. This scene fell into Lin Rei's eyes. "Well, since you don't want to listen, I won't talk nonsense with you. I came here today to take you out. You have been training here for almost a year. It's time." As he spoke, Lin Rei directly took out the jade that recorded all the basic knowledge and common sense of life. He handed it to Jin-en and spoke calmly. "Here, stick this between your eyebrows and circulate your spiritual energy to absorb the memories inside. When you're done, let's go out and give your mother a surprise. She's been looking forward to seeing you every day." After speaking, Lin Rei turned around. Lin Rei knew that at this moment, Jin-en was full of resentment and did not want to see him. When Jin-en heard the word mother, his heart warmed. A childlike smile appeared on his face. He looked so innocent. In order to connect to his mother, Jin-en was very anxious. He had been closest to his mother since he was a child. Therefore, at this moment, Jin-en could not wait. Looking at the jade in his hand, Jin-en sat cross-legged on the ground and stuck the jade between his eyebrows. Using his spiritual energy, suddenly, a memory that did not belong to him merged with his own. 10 minutes. In just 10 minutes, a large amount of Lin Rei's memories were merged with Jin-en's. "Who?" While playing, Jin-en exhaled a mouthful of turbid air. Recalling the memories just now, Jin-en was shocked. Okay, don't think about it. When we go out, there will be plenty for you to play with." Lin Rei had been paying attention to Jin-en's every move. After Jin-en had accepted everything, he turned around and directly clamped Jin-en under his arm. With a thought, he disappeared from the system. When he reappeared, Lin Rei was already in a guest room. At this moment, Jin-en, who was clamped under Lin Rei's arm, saw the scene change and immediately broke free from Lin Rei's restraint and jumped down. "Isn't it very novel? The memories I just transmitted to you are my understanding of this world and some knowledge of life. Therefore, you should probably know that the clothes you are wearing right now are not suitable for this place." With that, Lin Rei directly took out a set of treasured equipment from his storage ring. Suddenly, a burst of golden light flashed and dazzling treasured equipment filled the entire room. "Here, put it on. Then, use your spiritual power to transform it according to the appearance of my clothes." Jin-en's heart throbbed as he looked at the items in his father's hands. After struggling for a while, Jin-en took the treasured equipment from Lin Rei's hands and dripped a drop of blood on it. He immediately put it on and transformed it according to the clothes on Lin Rei's body. His movements were as smooth as flowing water. Lin Rei watched Jin-en's transformation. When he saw that his son was wearing a suit, he was very happy. "Okay, next is your hair. I will cut your hair in a while, so don't struggle." Everything about Jin-en was normal except for his protruding hair. At this moment, Lin Li directly walked over, his spiritual energy exploding out. Using his spiritual energy as a blade, he began to trim Jin-en's hair. This action wasn't approved by Jin-en. Of course, Jin-en wanted to resist, but when he tried to resist, he realized that his body wasn't listening to him anymore. In the end, he could only stand there obediently and let his father do whatever he wanted to him. Let me tell you, in this family, other than your mother and me, you are a cultivator, and your uncles and aunts are all ordinary people. Remember, no matter what, no matter when, don't tell them anything about the profound sky continent. Do you understand? At this moment, Lin Rei couldn't help but remind Jin-en. He didn't want to tell Lin Feng and Lin Ro that he was a cultivator. He didn't want to tell even more people. So long-winded. I know. Hurry up and do it. I still want to see my mother. Hearing his father nag at Jin-en so much, an impatient look appeared on Jin-en's face as he said to Linley, "Hey, you brat." Although Lin Rei was still a little unhappy when he heard his son say this, he believed that things would get better in the future. After all, he had a long lifespan. What was there to be afraid of? Time passed little by little. The spiritual power blade in Lin Rei's hand finally dissipated. At this moment, Jin-en's appearance had completely changed. There was a young master from ancient times who had turned into a cute young master from modern times. "Okay, let's go. Let your mother see what you look like now." Seeing that everything was done, Lin Rei was relieved. After collecting the hair on the ground, he pulled Jin-en and opened the door to the living room. "Wow. I didn't expect the house here to be so beautiful. It's so much better than the houses I've seen before." Chapter 228. Although he had obtained his father's memories, he was still very surprised when he saw it with his own eyes. "Hee, look at your silly face. What are you surprised about? This will be your home from now on. Do you see the room upstairs? You can live wherever you want. Of course, that's when no one lives there." Looking at his son's appearance, Lin Rei was very happy in his heart. At this time, Lin Rei decided to let Jin-en regain the joy of his childhood. I'm not surprised. I'm amazed, okay? Besides, there's nothing else except for being gorgeous. Moreover, why do I feel that the spiritual energy here is almost scarce? This sentence directly choked Lin Rei's words. Of course, he was even more gratified in his heart. Don't worry about this for now. We still have to live here for a while, so during this period of time, except when your life is in danger, you can use your cultivation. Otherwise, you can only use your physique normally. Right now, Linley still wasn't at ease, and he once more instructed his son. You're so long-winded. From the moment you saw me until now, you've said it countless times. Even if you're not annoyed, I'm annoyed." With that, Jin-en left Lin Rei's side and walked upstairs. "Hey, you brat, will you die if you don't talk like that? After all, I'm your father, okay?" Looking at his son's personality, Lin Rei could only laugh it off. Then, he followed him and walked in front of Jin-en, leading him to the room where Jin Ling was. At this moment, Jin Ling, who was in the room, had already put on a white dress for the day. Because of Lin Rei's cultivation, there were no cosmetics or anything like that. Everything was ready, and there was a confident smile on her face. At this moment, Jin Ling was sitting by the bed like a snow-white princess waiting for her prince. Dong dong dong. At this moment, Jin Ling, who was sitting quietly by the bed and waiting for Lin Rei's arrival, heard the knock on the door. A shy expression appeared on her face. Step by step, Jin Ling, who was slowly wearing high heels and a white dress, heard the knock on the door and walked to the door. She held the door handle with one hand. Gotcha, the door was opened from the inside by Jin Ling, and Jin-en, who was brought over by Lin Rei, was so excited that he revealed himself. "Ah!" At this moment, a scream came from Jin Ling, who had opened the door. Her voice was high and sharp, catching Linley, who was already unprepared, off guard. "Enner, is that you?" At this moment, Jin Ling thought that her eyes were playing tricks on her. She quickly squatted down, held Jinan's hand, and said excitedly. The tears in her eyes flowed out at this moment. Yes, yes, mother, it's me, and I'm out. Boo-hoo! At this time, after the two of them confirmed that they were not dreaming, they hugged each other and cried. Her cries grew louder and louder. This made Lin Ray, who was beside her, suddenly feel that he was the most despicable person in the world. Sigh. He sighed and left the place. He went downstairs, took out the flower diao wine, and drank it. Maybe I really did something wrong, but I don't regret what I did. Lin Ray had been questioning whether his decision back then was right or wrong. But in the end, Lin Ray did not conclude. He only knew that he did not regret what he did. At this moment, Jean Ling and Jean En were no longer crying. Instead, they returned to the room and began to care about him. Son, you've suffered in the past year. Looking at her son who had been separated from her for a year, Jean Ling couldn't help but feel sad. Tears welled up in her eyes as she spoke in a trembling voice. It's okay, mother. Look, your son has the ability to protect you now. He won't let you get hurt anymore. Hearing Jean Ling's words, Jean En quickly shook his head desperately. Then, he showed off his muscles for the past year to his mother. Pfft, I knew it. My son is the best, the strongest. In the future, I'll have to rely on you to comfort me. Looking at her son rubbing his fists, the warmth in her heart rose. She couldn't help but laugh. Son, in fact, your father had his reasons for doing this. After all, he only had one son. He did this to make you more outstanding and more qualified to inherit everything he had. So, don't hate him. It's not easy for your father either. Jean Ling could see that her son already hated Lin Ray, but this wasn't what she wanted to see. I know, but I can't get over this hurdle. When I left alone, I met my father. When he found out what had happened, I could feel that my father wanted to kill me at that time. Later, he threw me into the dark unit for training. In this year, he didn't even visit me once. I can't get over this hurdle. I can't get over this hurdle. At this moment, hearing his mother's words, Jean En understood very well. However, the hurdle left behind was not something that could be resolved overnight. Well, it's good that you know. Your father loves us very much. For us, he can disregard his life. So, I hope that you can treat your father better. Although our cultivators' lives are very long, your father is also very tired. The burden on his body is very heavy. After speaking, Jean Ling said a few words of concern to Jean En. Then, she pulled Jean En out of the room and went downstairs. She happened to see Lin Ray, who had already drunk a lot of wine. Hubby, why? Seeing her husband drinking alone, she wanted to go up the mountain to stop him. However, after a simple look at his expression, Jean Ling's hand that was holding the wine bottle froze. Alright, if you don't let me drink, then I won't drink. Seeing Jean Ling's appearance, Lin Ray understood. The guilt on his face instantly disappeared. The next moment, a smiling face appeared. Let's go. There's nothing at home that Jean En can use. Since it's still early, let's go to the mall to buy him some daily necessities and a few sets of clothes. Then, our family will go to the class reunion. He stood up and said to his wife and son before walking out of the door. However, the back view that Lin Ray left them seemed so lonely and so heartbreaking. Son, let's go. Your father said that he was going to buy you something, Jean Ling said to Jean En with a choked voice. Then, she pulled Jean En's hand and walked out. At this moment, Lin Ray had already driven the car to the door and was waiting for their arrival. Bang. After the mother and son got into the car, Lin Ray walked towards the shopping mall with a smile on his face. He was familiar with it. Since he had been there once, it would be even faster to go there again. Not long after, the three of them arrived outside the shopping mall. Along the way, the three of them did not say anything. The atmosphere was very heavy. The car stopped and Lin Ray got out of the car. Jean Ling pulled her son out of the car and stuffed Jean N between her and Lin Ray. Let's go. Go buy some small suits and some clothes for Jean N. At the same time, you can see what else he lacks. When Lin Ray saw Jean Ling's actions, Lin Ray understood what his wife meant. After smiling slightly, he pulled Jean N and Jean Ling to the shopping mall and went straight to the men's clothing area on the 3rd floor. Go and pick out clothes for Jean N later. Take this card and buy whatever you see. Buy the best. When they arrived at the 3rd floor, Lin Ray sent them over. Then, he took out the black card and handed it to Jean Ling. Then, he found a place to sit down. Jean Ling knew that Lin Ray's decision could not be changed no matter what. Therefore, she did not force him to stop and pulled Jean N into the clothing store. At this moment, Lin Ray sat on the chair and took out his phone. He called the number that Dong Xiaonan had told him before. Do. Hello, you are. The call was connected. Dong Xiaonan's voice came from the other end of the phone. It's me, Lin Ray. In a while, go find a hotel called Tanghua and buy him for me. With one sentence, the man on the other side was stunned. Before he could understand what was going on, Lin Ray had already finished speaking. Okay, I got it. I'll do it right away. Without hesitation, Lin Ray's order was like an imperial edict. No one dared to refute it. Alright, you've worked hard these past few days. After this period of time, when I refine a new pill, I'll let you be the first to eat it. Do! I got that. Hearing Lin Ray's words, Dong Xiaonan was of course happy. With the pill, it meant that her cultivation could be refined again. Just as she was about to respond, the other end of the phone had already hung up. At this moment, in the chairman's office of the Jiutian Trading Company, Dong Xiaonan revealed a helpless expression and sighed. Sigh, I was born to be busy. With that said, Dong Xiaonan picked up the phone and gave the order. With his current status, how could he personally go to work? Lin Ray, who was in the shopping mall, originally did not plan to go shopping, but in the end, he could not help but go to Jean Ling's side to help pick up the clothes. An hour later, Lin Ray had almost gone through all the clothing stores on the 3rd floor. In the end, he bought everything that he could, whether it was suits, casual wear, or shoes. He bought nearly a dozen pairs. Phew, okay, since everything is bought, it's basically time for dinner. Let's go directly to the banquet. After buying the clothes, Lin Ray took out his phone to look at the time. It was already 6:30 in the afternoon. The time was just right. Okay, I'll listen to you. At this moment, Jean Ling, who was only focused on her son, heard her husband's words and replied without objection. Okay, let's go then. Carrying the slow things in his hands, he followed behind Jean Ling and Jean N and walked toward the shopping mall where the car was parked. Although it looked very heavy on the surface, given how little weight it was, even Jean N would be able to easily lift it up, much less someone like Linley, who was so powerful that he defied the natural order. Chapter 229. Arriving at the side of the car, all the clothes, shoes, and some daily necessities were all placed in the trunk. At this time, his wife and son were already sitting in the car, waiting for Lin Ray to start the car. Peng. After getting in the car, he entered Tanghua's location, then started the car and drove towards Tanghua according to the planned route. At this time, the atmosphere in the car was the same as before. It was very, very dull and no one spoke. Father, I want to learn level 3 incineration. Lin Ray originally thought that Jean N would not talk to him easily. To Lin Ray's surprise, Jean N spoke to him. Ha. Well, what my son wants, even if it is the moon in the sky or the stars, I will give it to you as long as you want it. At this moment, Lin Ray's face showed an excited smile. Jean Ling could see that this was a smile from the bottom of his heart. Seeing this scene, Jean Ling also smiled. And, When you have time, you must teach me level 3 incineration. At this moment, Jean once again said firmly that he must learn level 3 incineration. This made Lin Ray very puzzled. Why was he so determined to learn level 3 incineration? Son, then can you tell father why you want to learn level 3 incineration? This kind of spell is very suitable and powerful. If you want to cultivate it, first of all, the cultivator must walk on the path of a strong body. Otherwise, before you can use it, you will have already self-destructed. To be honest, Lin Ray really didn't want his son to learn this kind of martial arts. First of all, this kind of spell was very demanding on the body. Second of all, the consumption of spiritual power was huge. Even Lin Ray could only use it a few times. No, I have to learn it. No matter if it is demanding on the body or not, I must learn it. I can cultivate my body and make my body stronger. Seeing his son so determined, Lin Ray didn't know what to say. In the end, he could only agree. Well, whatever you say. When you go back, cultivate your body first. This way, whether you have spiritual power or not in the future, you won't be at a disadvantage. At this moment, Lin Ray had already begun to specify a plan for Jean. This made Jean Ling, who was sitting at the side, unable to listen any longer. She said, "Hey, do you still treat me as if I exist? All you know is to cultivate and cultivate every day. If all of you cultivate, then who will talk to me?" Obviously, after hearing the content of the conversation between the father and son, Jean Ling was unhappy. She had come out happily, but at this time, she was talking about cultivation. Okay. I won't say it. I won't say it anymore. Looking at his wife's angry appearance, Lin Ray quickly surrendered. Yes, that's more like it. The car quieted down. Lin Ray also focused on driving the car according to the route. 20 minutes later, at noon, they arrived at the entrance of Tang Hua Hotel. After the car stopped in the parking space, the door opened. Lin Ray and the other two got out of the car and looked up at the gorgeous hotel. When they thought that they would soon be able to see their brothers from university, their hearts were filled with excitement. He took out his phone and dialed the phone number that Shui Man had told him in his memory. After a while, he dialed Shui Man number. Do. Hello, is this Lin Ray? Where are you now? The moment the call was connected, Shui Man voice sounded from the other end. Okay. I'm here. Tell me which floor and which room you are in. Hearing Shui Man call out his name directly, Lin Ray was very surprised. This was because he did not seem to have told her his phone number. Furthermore, this phone was just bought by him. Why don't I go down to fetch you? Shui Man who was on the other end of the phone, was obviously anxious when she heard Lin Ray's words. There's really no need. Just tell me. Lin Ray felt very embarrassed. She was the one who had invited him to the class reunion. If he were to ask her to come out to fetch his family, he would feel even more embarrassed. Oh, okay. Then come to room 508 on the 5th floor. Our university classmates are all here. Oh, okay. After getting the room number, Lin Ray hung up the phone immediately. He then sold his wife and friends to the hotel. According to the room number that Shui Man had given him, Lin Ray took the lift to the 5th floor. He then strolled to room 508. After calming himself down, he stretched out his hand and pushed the door open. The moment Lin Ray pushed the door open, a loud bang was heard. Then, a few ribbons floated from the air and landed on top of Lin Ray's head. Hello everyone. Lin Ray was really not used to receiving such a huge welcome the moment he opened the door. Looking at these familiar faces, Lin Ray hurriedly greeted them. F***ck Lao Air, where have you been all these years? Just as Lin Ray was greeting them, a very handsome man beside him walked up and shouted at Lin Ray. However, when he saw Jean Ling and Jean behind Lin Ray, he was stunned for a moment. Lao Air, long time no see. I didn't expect you to be so big now. You're so noisy. Looking at his best friends in the dormitory, Lin Ray was very excited. He couldn't wait to meet everyone right now. No. Lao why don't you introduce the two behind you to me first? At this moment, the person that Lin Ray called Lao stunned everyone present. As Lin Ray had only reached half the door, they could only see Lin Ray. They couldn't see Jean Ling and Jean N behind Lin Ray. Oh right, I forgot to introduce them. Hearing Lao words, Lin Ray hurriedly pulled Jean Ling and Jean N out from behind him and introduced them to everyone. Everyone, let me introduce them to all of you. This is my wife, Jean Ling. This is my son, Jean N. Ling these are all my classmates. After entering the room, Lin Ray introduced them to everyone. However, what Lin Ray didn't know was that when he introduced them, Shui Man was stunned at this moment. Her eyes were filled with shock and disbelief. F***ck, Lao I didn't expect you to marry such a beauty after not seeing her for 2 years. Moreover, you even have such a big son. At this moment, the two men sitting behind also walked over. They looked at Lin Ray unhappily and said, "What kind of brother are you? You didn't even invite us when the results were coming out. You're too mean." Lin Ray could naturally tell that they were blaming him from their word. Sigh. It's not that I don't want to contact them. It's really inconvenient. Do you think I don't want to? If I could contact them, I would have done so long ago. Looking at his best friend and roommate from university, Linley's face broke into a smile. He was very happy. Just based on this sentence of yours, we'll drink until we're drunk. At this moment, a very tall man said to Lin Ray. As he said that, he also led them to their seat. These three were Lin Ray's brothers. The tall man who was holding Lin Ray's hand was Wang Hong. He lived in Beijing and had a good family environment. His parents were both businessmen and he was the eldest in the university dormitory. Wang Hong was the second in the dormitory. The one who was surprised earlier was the third, Su Bo. Of course, they didn't know his background. They only knew that he was very rich. As for the gentle and weak one, it was the dormitory's resourceful star, C. He was the one who came up with all the plans. To put it bluntly, it was all schemes. However, he was a very loyal person and was called Morongyu. Hey, you're really shameless. It's already good enough to let you come to the class reunion. I didn't expect that you would bring your family and even your son. Are you really so poor that you can't afford to eat? The person who spoke was Lei Wu, who had always been against Lin Ray in university. He was a sinister and cunning person who liked to play dirty tricks. However, he was very handsome. After Lin Ray came in, Lei Wu was already unhappy with Lin Ray. However, he didn't expect that everyone would hang around this Lin Ray. Therefore, Lei Wu aimed all the spearheads at Lin Ray. Lei Wu, don't stir up trouble here. Isn't it just the money for a meal? I'll pay for it. Not to mention that it's only 3 people. Even if the second brother invited the whole family, I'll still treat them. Hearing Lei Wu's words, Lin Ray didn't care at all. However, Su Bo couldn't stand it anymore and directly said this sentence. Yes, if the third brother isn't enough, there's still me. Isn't it just the money for a meal? Look at what you can do. At this moment, the big brother, the third brother, and C all stood out and rebutted Lei Wu. Hearing the rebuttal of the 3 of them, Lei Wu was speechless and didn't know what to say. He could only sit down gloomily and silently look at Lin Ray and the rest. Lin Ray, you made me lose face today. I won't let you have it easy either. At this moment, Lei Wu had already made up his mind to take revenge on Lin Ray. Therefore, without anyone noticing, he took out his phone and typed a few words before sending it out. Lin Ray, just you wait. This time, I'll make you kneel on the ground and sing, "Conquer" to me. Lei Wu said with a sinister smile as he looked in Lin Ray's direction. Of course, at this moment, when they saw that Lin Rei had a wife and son, they weren't as enthusiastic as before. Everyone stood beside Shui Man and started to flatter her. As for Lin Rei's side, only the big brother, the third brother, and C were sitting together, laughing and talking about some happy things. Second brother, I'm very curious. Why did you leave the school back then? Back then, when we went to look for you, your mother said that you were missing. At that time, we went crazy looking for you. Do you know that? The third brother's tears flowed down uncontrollably as he blew the wine in his hand into the bottle. This scene made Lin Rei, who was observing everything from the side, reveal an ashamed expression. I'm really sorry. Back then, I was in a hurry and didn't inform anyone, not even my family. They thought that I was missing, so… Jean Ling, who was sitting at the side, looked at them and her heart started to ache. It wasn't because of them, but because of her husband. Chapter 230. Alright, number 2, you don't have to say anything. Since we've seen you today, you definitely won't be able to walk out of here today. Let me tell you, if you don't drink what you owe us today, then our relationship will end today. Su Bo's words were immediately understood by the two men at the side. They placed the bottles of white wine on the table and opened all the cap. Oh my God, number 2, you guys are planning to get me drunk and not let me go home today, right? When he heard number 3's words and the alcohol in front of him, Lin Rei knew that he had to buy this place to drink today. Although Lin Rei knew that they were lying when they said that they would break off their relationship, Lin Rei still felt guilty in his heart. Alright, since all of you have said that, don't blame me if any of you regret it later on. When it came to drinking, no one present could be Lin Rei's match. Not to mention the bottles of white wine on the table. Even if the bottle of white wine was 10 times stronger, Lin Rei wouldn't even bat an eyelid. With that said, Lin Rei didn't hesitate as he grabbed a bottle of white wine with a smile on his face and started drinking. Gulping sounds could be heard from Lin Rei's throat. This action attracted the gazes of those who were admiring Shui Man. Of course, this included Lei Wu, who had already called for help. At this moment, when he saw Lin Rei's actions, he had an uneasy feeling in his heart. However, he didn't know what he was feeling uneasy about. Of course, the ones who were the most shocked were Lin Rei's 3 brothers from his dormitory. At this moment, their eyes were wide open with a look of disbelief as they looked at Lin Rei's bottle of alcohol. Their mouths were so wide open that they could fit an egg in them. F***ck. When did number 2's alcohol tolerance become so good? If it was just a bottle of beer, it would still be fine. However, this is pure white wine with over 60% alcohol content. Seeing that Lin Rei was about to finish his drink, Su Bo even felt some regret in his heart. He didn't expect that after not seeing him for 2 years, his second brother, who couldn't drink in the past, would be able to drink so much. Moreover, his second brother had upgraded to white wine. No, at this rate, if I don't end up in the hospital tomorrow, I'll change my surname to yours. Si Morongyu was so shocked that he couldn't even speak. Usually, when it came to drinking in the dormitory, as long as he said he was number 2, no one would say they were number 1. Now, seeing that his own brother could drink so much, he was dumbfounded. About a minute later, the bottle in Lin Rei's hand was almost empty. A few seconds later, Lin Rei's bottle was completely empty. Bang! Lin Rei, who had finished drinking, directly placed the bottle on the table. He used quite a bit of strength, so much so that everyone present was startled awake by the sound of Lin Rei placing the bottle down. Haha! Brothers, I've finished drinking. You haven't even touched it. Lin Rei, who had finished drinking, looked at the untouched bottles of wine on the table, and said to Wang Hong and the others with a malicious smile, Second brother, can I not drink? Look, we haven't seen each other for so long. If I were to drink like this, wouldn't we all be drunk? At this moment, Su Bo, who was quite big in the face of Lin Rei's words, was so scared that his legs trembled. He immediately gave in to Lin Rei. "Third brother, look at your conduct. Isn't it just drinking?" At this moment, after hearing his third brother Su Bo's words, he retorted with a look of disdain. Then, he grabbed the bottle of white wine on the table and, like Lin Rei, started to drink from it. Seeing one do it, the second one came. Murong Yu saw that his big brother was not afraid, so what was there to be afraid of? He laughed loudly and said, "All right, since you all are like this, I have and am afraid." After saying that, Murong Yu grabbed the bottle and raised his head to drink it. This action made Su Bo, who was standing at the side, muster up his courage. After hesitating for a while, he finally grabbed the bottle and drank it like Lin Rei and the others. F***ck, the people here are crazy. If we continue drinking like this, our stomachs will bleed in a while. That's right. Although we've reunited after a long time, it's not like this. Damn, let's hurry up and call an ambulance. Who knows, it might be too late. At this moment, seeing Lin Rei's moving appearance as he drank, everyone was dumbfounded. Some people even took out their phones and started to call an ambulance. However, they didn't see that Lin Rei, who had finished drinking a bottle of white wine, was sitting in front of the table without blushing or panting. He had a smile on his face as he picked up food for his wife and son, and he seemed to be muttering something. "Come, son, this saliva chicken is very authentic. I just took a bite and it's very delicious. You haven't eaten much in the past year." Lin Rei, who was holding a piece of saliva chicken, placed it in a few bowls and said in a gentle tone, "Oh, I understand, father." Jin-en looked at the meat in the bowl and directly put it in his mouth, without any pretense. He started chewing, and as he ate, he responded to Lin Rei's word. "Hubby, look, you drank too quickly just now. Drink from the corner of your mouth. It's all stained with wine." Looking at her husband's appearance, Jean Ling could not help but pick up a napkin and help Linley wipe the corner of his mouth. His chin was stained with wine, and his eyes were filled with love. It made the people beside him feel helpless. Damn, Lin Rei. Your daughter-in-law is really virtuous. Yeah, Brother Lei, your daughter-in-law is really too good. She's not virtuous, and she even gave birth to such a big son for you. Originally, it was only the people beside him who were envious. In the end, they were suddenly led to their 5- or 6-year-old son. Hearing this, a murderous look flashed across Lin Rei's eyes. Then, he looked at the person who spoke with a smile. "That's right. My wife is very great. It's too hard on her. When she called him Jin-en, it was too painful, so I let my son take her surname. It was so that he would be grateful for the pain his mother went through when she gave birth to him. With a wife like this, what else can a husband ask for?" This sentence stunned everyone present. Everyone present thought that this child was not Lin Rei's, but the son that Lin Rei's current wife had brought over. In the end, Lin Rei's answer caught them off guard. "Alright. Then you're really lucky," that person who was stirring up trouble said helplessly. Then, he walked towards the back. "Hubby, how many times have I said it? I wanted our son to take your surname back then, but you just had to do it like this. Even now, you're still saying that I've said too much. I'm very happy to be able to give birth to a son for you. I'm willing." This public display of affection had blinded the eyes of everyone present. Then congratulations, Lin Rei. I didn't expect you to become a father at such a young age. At this moment, Shui Man, who had been silent all this while, walked forward. She held a glass of red wine and toasted Lin Rei. "Oh, Shui Man, I really have to thank you. If I hadn't met you, I might have to wait a long time before I could meet my boss and the rest." As he said that, Lin Rei held up the glass of red wine in front of him and clinked it against Shui Man-er's glass. "Take it as me and my wife toasting you." "Thank you." After speaking, Lin Rei downed his glass in one gulp. Then, he called Jin, who was eating a lot, over and said to Shui Man, Jin, my son is your classmate. Son, this is your father's classmate. In the future, call her auntie when you see her. Also, everyone here is of the same generation as me. Do you understand? Oh, I understand, father. After speaking, Jin turned around and greeted Shui Man, and everyone present. My name is Jin. Greetings to all the aunties and uncles. After speaking, Jin returned to his seat and started eating. Strictly speaking, Jin hadn't eaten for almost a year. Ever since Lin Ray sent him to the hospital, he hadn't eaten anything. When he was hungry, he would eat the fasting pills. When he was thirsty, he would drink the spiritual liquid that Lin Ray had specially prepared for him. Therefore, his resistance to the food in front of him was very weak. After all, Aaron was only a 5 or 6-year-old child. Child, don't be offended. Looking at his son, a hint of guilt flashed past Lin Ray's eyes. However, no one noticed it. Lin Ray didn't know that Shui Man, who had been paying attention to him, had noticed this. Bang, bang, bang. 3 loud sounds directly caused the gazes of Linley, who was talking, and the others to shift over. In front of them, Wang Hong, Su Bo, and Murong Yu had already finished a bottle of white wine. Ha! Ha ha! Ha 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 ha! A burst of silly laughter came from Su Bo's mouth. Ha! Ha ha! Second brother, your alcohol tolerance is so high that we can't catch up to you no matter how hard we try. Wang Hong's voice sounded. Although his face was a little red, Lin Ray could feel that the alcohol in their bodies was slowly evaporating. This scene piqued Lin Ray's interest. However, Lin Ray hadn't used his cultivation or divine sense to check the bodies of Wang Hong and the rest. Therefore, he didn't know whether they were cultivators or not. Alright, big brother, don't blame me. Aren't you guys the same? In the past, a bottle of white wine would be ready immediately. Now, it's as if nothing happened. Laughing, he came to Wang Hong's side and hammered Wang Hong's chest with a smile. Ha ha, that's right. Third brother, you can't be the only one who has changed. Not only have you changed, but I also realized that your hair has turned white. However, you look better now. You look more domineering. You've changed a lot. Finally, Wang Hong's gaze landed on Lin Ray's white hair. His words carried a hint of contemplation as he spoke to Lin Ray. Let's stop chatting. Since we're here for a meal, let's sit down and have a meal. At this moment, Su Bo was already afraid. He didn't want to drink anymore. Therefore, he found an opportunity to get everyone to sit down in the name of having a meal. Haha, third brother, it's been 2 years. You haven't changed at all. You're still so cunning. You're the one who started drinking. Now, you want to mess with the stall? Do you think that's possible? Chapter 231. Seeing how third bro Su Bo was determined to get out of this drinking situation, Linley looked at him with disdain and couldn't help but tease him. Yeah. Third brother, can you do it? It's just 1 bottle and you're already scared. You can't be so embarrassing in front of our nephew. It wasn't just Lin Ray. Even Si and Murong Yu stood up and ridiculed Su Bo. For a moment, Su Bo's words became the target of public criticism. Su Bo didn't expect this at all. F*ck, it seems like I dug a hole for myself today. In the end, I buried myself. Hearing his brother's words, Su Bo laughed bitterly. He mustered up his courage, grabbed a bottle of wine and said to Lin Ray and the others, "Come on. Since it's a reunion of brothers, how can we not drink together? As the saying goes, before you die, you can drag a few dozen people down with you." Therefore, Su Bo directly said this to Lin Ray and the others. F*ck, you're F** king courting death. Wang Hong and the others looked at the wine in front of them and cleared their throats. Then, they grabbed the bottle of wine with an attitude of in for a penny, in for a pound. Okay, I hope we'll be reunited and never be separated in the future. Come on, cheers. After saying this, Lin Ray and the others raised their heads and downed the wine. Their actions were very heroic. However, while they were drinking, Lei Wu had already sneaked out of the room. When he came outside, he took out his phone, pressed the button, and dialed. Do. Do. Hello, is this Wu Zi? On the other end of the phone, a rough voice sounded. Lei Wu couldn't help but feel happy as he spoke excitedly. Yes, it's Brother Bao. We're in room 508 on the 5th floor of Tanghua. I don't know where you are. Oh, we're already here. Just wait. Your brother will definitely help you settle your grievances. The person called Brother Leopard said confidently. Brother Leopard, don't worry, Lei Wu won't be able to do anything. Okay. Thank you, Brother Leopard. Put it in the room. You can find a guy called Lin Ray. He has a wife and a son. They look very pure. If Brother Leopard wants, you can have them anytime. At this moment, Lei Wu spoke with a sinister expression and a sinister tone. Okay. Wait here, we'll go up right away. When Brother Leopard heard that there was a woman, his eyes lit up and he couldn't wait to make a call. Then, he sped up. At this moment, Brother Leopard and the others had already started eating. More than 20 people took the elevator to the 5th floor of Tanghua Hotel. At this moment, Lin Ray and the others, who were still drinking to their heart's content in the room, were teasing Su Bo, who had taken the bottle down midway. Old third, you really can't do it. You can't do it after drinking so little? Looks like I'll have to find you to drink more in the future. Otherwise, you won't be able to drink to your heart's content. At this moment, Lin Ray didn't hide his ridicule at all. His eyes were full of disdain. F***ck, old second, that's not right. You can drink, but that doesn't mean I can too. However, I'll forget about what you said today. F***ck, I'll go all out today. As he said that, he started drinking again. However, at this moment, a group of uninvited guests arrived. With a bang, the door to room 508 was kicked open by a group of people just as Linley had placed the wine bottle on the top of the table and taken a few sips from it. Cough. At this moment, everyone was startled, especially Su Bo, who had just mustered all his courage to drink. He was so frightened by the loud noise that he choked on his drink. F***ck, what's going on? How dare you come to my place? Don't you want to live any more? Su Bo, who had been suppressing a bellyful of grievances, completely exploded after this scare. No matter who it was, he directly shouted in the direction of the source of the sound. Kid, shut the F***ck up. This has nothing to do with you. Don't court death. We're here to look for Lin Ray and his wife. If the rest of you have nothing to do, just sit quietly where you are. Among the 20 to 30 people who walked in, the leader was Brother Leopard, who had been called in for Lei Wu. He called out names to the entire room. Looking for me? After hearing that group call out his name, he was slightly surprised. Apart from the time when he was surrounded by his ex-girlfriend, he didn't seem to have offended this group of people before during the cultivator battle. At this moment, Lin Ray's heart was filled with many questions. Lin Ray blamed them for not explaining. However, the only thing he knew was that this group of people must be here for him. Moreover, they might be here for his wife and children. This was something that Lin Ray couldn't tolerate. Brothers, may I know why you're looking for me? I don't think I've ever offended you, let alone know who you are. Prejudiced by first impressions, Lin Ray directly asked the question in his heart. As long as he knew who wanted to deal with him, that was enough. Who was I? It turns out that you're such a coward. Alright, since you're Lin Ray, let's talk about the conditions. Give your wife to me and let us play with her for a few days. After that, we'll settle the matter separately. How about it? Brother Leopard's words determined his fate. There was only one ending, and that was death. Good. Scheming against my mother. I think you're courting death. At this moment, Jean, who had been eating, heard Brother Leopard's words. Although he didn't understand what it meant, he knew that it was definitely not a good thing. Otherwise, his mother wouldn't have such an ugly expression on her face. As soon as he finished speaking, an afterimage flashed out. In an instant, he arrived in front of Brother Bao, who had spoken, and directly punched him. Just one punch, and that person called Brother Bao was knocked to the ground. When they looked again, Jean had already returned to his original position, and was now beside Jean Ling. Ah! A scream was heard. Before anyone could react, the battle was already over. Of course, other than Lin Rei and Jean Ling, the others in the room also saw Jean's actions, including Lin Rei's 3 brothers. Of course, they were shocked that a 5- or 6-year-old child could be so strong. At this moment, they were even more curious about this brother of theirs whom they hadn't seen for 2 years. Even if you don't say it, I know who it is. At this moment, Lin Rei thought back. The only people he had offended recently, other than the strong people from various countries, was Lei Wu, who had just lost face. Of course, the strong people from various countries wouldn't let a weak piece of trash come here to show off. The only one left was Lei Wu, who was present. I just didn't expect that after being classmates, you wouldn't even be able to save face. You actually asked an outsider to come and mess with me. It's fine if you mess with me, but what I can't tolerate the most is that you used my family as a stake. At this moment, Lin Rei's expression was extremely cold. The murderous aura on his body was even more intense. Of course, this was within the range of Lin Rei's control. The people around him couldn't feel it at all. If that's the case, then don't blame me for being impolite. I don't care about our friendship as classmates, Lei Wu. Finally, the name that puzzled everyone was finally spoken by Lin Rei. Suddenly, everyone's gaze turned to Lei Wu, who was standing at the door. So what? I'll show you what's wrong. So what? I just don't like you. So what? Today you can't run away. There are so many people, can you beat them? Seeing that he couldn't hide it anymore, Lei Wu directly admitted to the matter. The ferocious expression on his face made people a little scared. I used to have a motto: as long as it's my reverse scale, no one should touch it. Once touched, it's death. Seeing Lei Wu admit it, Lin Rei's face revealed a bloodthirsty expression as he spoke to everyone present. Since their friendship as classmates had reached this stage, there was no need to reunite in the future. As he spoke, Lin Rei glanced at the 3 brothers, and then said lightly to the heir, I don't want to see them, including the person who tried to return Ling heir. In the eyes of everyone, Lin Rei was crazy. But only Lin Rei, Jean Ling, and Jean knew that this was an order to the dark group in the dark. Yes, young master. Just as Lin Rei finished speaking and everyone thought that Lin Rei was an idiot, a voice sounded. Instantly, everyone's gaze turned to the back of the room. There, 4 men in black stood there. Boss, let's go. There's no need to stay here. Let's go somewhere else and continue drinking. Lin Rei, who didn't care about this matter at all, said to Wang Hong and the other 2 brothers. Okay. At this moment they were shocked. No, it should be said that their second brother had brought them too much shock today. Seeing that they had agreed, Lin Rei pulled Jean Ling and Jean out of the door. At the door, Lin Rei turned his head, and his eyes were filled with killing intent. He said coldly to the 4 men from the dark group, hurry up and settle this. Then get the boss of this place to come and see me. Remember this group of people. I don't want to see them in the future, especially my classmate Lei Wu. After giving another order, Lin Rei opened the door and walked out. But before he left, everyone knew what he meant by, I don't want to see them in the future. Everyone was stunned, especially Shui Manor. She didn't expect that something like this would happen when she called Lin Rei over. At this moment, she felt extremely lonely in her heart. A bunch of ants. How dare they say such arrogant words to our young master, a young lady, and our young master? Since they have the ability to say such words, they must have the ability to bear the consequences. The 4 men from the dark group had been following them in the dark. They knew what had happened previously. Therefore, at this moment the anger in their hearts exploded. Gotcha! 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 Ah! After the 4 men from the dark group finished speaking, they knocked on the bodies of the 20 to 30 people who had suddenly barged in and lay Wu at a speed that no one could see. With every knock, there would be a kacha-kacha sound. At the same time, screams could be heard from the bodies of the people who were knocked on. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Nights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.